Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the World Series, game number 4, Los Angeles Dodgers versus the New York Yankees. Dodgers up 3-0. Are they going to get the brooms and get the sweep? Or are the Yankees finally going to win a game? Let's find out here in just a few minutes. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. Let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups for the potential game-winning matchup here tonight. Let's go. Oh, baby. And on the thumb, on the left, I decided to go with 2 players on the left and 2 on the right. I was just going to leave it with Shohei and Aaron Judge, but I had to squeak in a little Mookie Betts as well as Giancarlo Stanton. I think this one actually turned out pretty fucking well. Let's go. And let's start it off here first with the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers. Leading off for the Dodgers at DH, it's showtime. Shohei Ohtani. Batting second, playing right field, Mookie Betts. Batting third, playing first base, Mr. October, Freddie Freeman. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, right fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth, playing third base, Mad Max Muncy. Batting sixth, playing center field, Kike Hernandez. Batting seventh, playing second base, Gavin Lux. Batting eighth, catching tonight for the Dodgers, Will Smith. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for LA, Tommy Edman. And on the mound for the Dodgers, Ben Kasperius. All right, baby. Let's see what Ben can do here today. Now let's get into the starting lineups for the home New York Yankees. Leading off for the Yankees at second base, Gleyber Torres. Batting second, playing right field, Juan Soto. Batting third, playing center field, Aaron Judge. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Batting fifth in the order, DHing for New York, Giancarlo Stanton. Batting sixth, playing first base, Anthony Rizzo. Batting seventh, shortstop, Anthony Volpe. Batting eighth, catching tonight for New York, Austin Wells. And batting ninth, the former Red Sox left fielder, Alex Verdugo. And on the mound for the Yankees, Luis Angel Gil. Okay, baby, let's go. I'm ready. Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo, Juan Soto, a trio versus a trio. Let's get it, baby. Kobe in the building. What's good? Let's go Dodgers. Megan with a $5. Appreciate you. And there you go. You got to wear it at some point or another. We're at 5. 95 to go to hit the goal. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little cactus jack, bang, bang. We're at 5. 95 to go. And again, we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and then obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. What's good? Plus, also with the images that I had to come up with, I was trying to come up with a really nice, like Soto or, like a Freddie, but I just, couldn't really find one that I thought was to my standard. So, of course, normally I just do one image and one image on a thumb. But since it is the World Series, I figured, this might be the last game unless the Yankees actually come to play. And also, you got to have images that are going to, kind of be facing in the right direction. So, like the Freddie image I had was kind of facing the other way. So I figured that these would be the two. If I had my choice, hell, I would put Soto in there and Freddie in there, and we would do a trio, 3-on-3. But, just didn't have the time and obviously the image at the moment to make it work. But I figured with what I have to work with here, it turned out pretty good. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Yeah, I could have told you that at the beginning of the year, though. I mean, like I said, it's not like I'm a hater, or anything like that. I'm just going to call it how I see it, and, after game number 1, AR looked good. That was like the one game he actually played well. But I mean, how many games, after that are you going to, put up 5 to 10 points in fantasy? You can't really stay healthy. You can't really complete passes. You got a capable backup who's probably the best backup in the league right now, who shouldn't even really be a backup, who actually could be a starter for half of the teams in the NFL right now in Joe Flacco. So just imagine if you would have went with Joe at the beginning of the year, by week 2 or week 3, you probably would have a few more wins than you do right now, but at least they made the decision now instead of waiting until the end of the year or when you guys were eliminated from the playoffs. At least now you still have a chance to be able to get it done. And AR got ripped apart, by the media too, when he had back-to-back runs and he said he was tired. No quarterback has done that in the NFL ever. So again, if you're out of shape and you're maybe a few years away, maybe they kind of rushed the gun a little bit and they wanted to make sure that, they got this guy who has limited experience in high school and college, and they wanted to get him out there because he's a freak athlete. And let's be honest, he didn't really have that many games under his belt. He just wowed at the combine. But other than that, being able to wow at the combine can only get you so far, based off those drills. And it's all about, how high is the ceiling for this, particular player. And I'm not saying that he's a full bust, but he definitely is not ready. And, I wish the best for him, but at least you have to be happy as a Colts fan that you actually have a capable backup that not only can play better than AR, but he can actually win you games and get you to the playoffs. And if he gets you to the playoffs, there's a chance that he can actually win you a game. He's that good. So, and everyone's value goes up. Not only with Jonathan Taylor, but Downs, obviously with Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce. Everyone will be able to actually touch the football. You're going to score more points. The vibes are going to be better. So hopefully that'll equate to some wins, obviously, moving forward. And sometimes that's a harsh reality to come to terms with, when you draft a guy, in the top 5 or top 10, and then you find out after like a year or two, maybe this isn't the right person, and again, I do think he's a freakish athlete, but he's nowhere near being ready to be able to be the starting quarterback for not only the Colts or any team. So, yeah, Diggs out for the year. All right, go. First pitch from a heel to Shohei Ohtani. Chops that one foul, 0-1 count. Pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike from heel to Ohtani. Pitch is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike from Luis Angel Gil to Shohei Ohtani. And hopefully Aaron Judge's bat will open up a little bit. And, I'm not sure if the Dodgers are going to get the brooms and they're going to win it here tonight, but, they have a good possibility of doing so. But obviously pitching and defense has really been the key to the series. and they are going to be throwing out, their worst pitcher up to this point in Kasperius. So, if the Yankees can, get him early and often, then maybe this will go back to LA. Maybe the Yankees could, feed off the momentum of winning today and winning tomorrow. But if it goes back to LA, because the Dodgers don't care. They're going to win the World Series, period. It's either going to be in New York, either in this game or the next game, or if the Yankees go back-to-back, and just for pride's sake, so that way they don't get embarrassed by getting swept or winning, Dodgers winning in 5 and they only win 1. You already know it's over in Game 6 in LA, and I assume the Dodger fans would rather win it in front of their home fans, but we'll see how this game is officiated and umped, and we'll see how it goes as we move forward. Shohei popped up. Here we go, 1 away. Next up, right fielder Mookie Betts. Had to throw Mookie in there. Didn't want to get Freddie in there, but just didn't have the proper image. But in the future, if we end up going to Game 5, maybe I can try to dig a little bit deeper to find an image that I like of Soto and Freddie, and maybe we can add them to the trio or have them on the thumb for tomorrow if the Dodgers don't win here today. 0-1 pitch. Mookie fouls it off himself, behind the count 0-2. Captain in the building, what's good? Yeah, but you got to be careful what you say because, more than likely Soto's going to be a Dodger. So is he going to call him a bozo once he joins the team? Probably not. You can always talk shit about a player until it ends up, backfiring, and then you end up having that player on your team. And that's a very strong possibility. Oh-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. There we go. Nice job, Mookie. There we go. Get 2, baby. Mookie Betts. There we go. Megan puts on the jersey for the first time. Mookie gets a double. Let's go. Nice job, Mook. Next up, first baseman, Mr. October. It's not Reggie Jackson. It's not Corey Seager. It's Freddie fucking Freeman. Let's go. Bring that electricity. Didn't have any home runs in the playoffs, in the World Series. He's home run every single game. Can he do it? 4 homers in 4 games? We'll find out. Let's see what Freddie has to bring here and the electricity here tonight. Great stories about him and his dad. Obviously, him losing his mom at a young age and then almost losing his dad as well. Freddie saved his dad's life, taking him to the hospital and whatnot. And obviously, we know Freddie had that story earlier a few months ago when his son was in the hospital. The Freeman family and that story, pretty cool to hear. And again, whenever you can have a parent that actually believes in you and supports you in your dreams and is present in your life, that definitely makes all the difference for a lot of these pros. 1-1 count from Hilo to Freddie Freeman. Pitch is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Doesn't matter where, you can put Soto wherever. Somewhere in the outfield, they'll make room. And even if you end up bringing Teoscar back also, and Teoscar's there, so, Teoscar can always DH. Back on! Freddie Freeman, let's go. You talk about it, you make it happen. He's like, let me hit a home run in every single game in the World Series. This is the brand new Mr. October. This fucking shit is over. 2-0 Dodgers. Get the fucking brooms. Let's go. Hell yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a player home run in every single game in the World Series, let alone, being a little cold in the playoffs and hitting 0 home runs in the playoffs. And Heel, what can you say? Regardless if this is Heel or if Garrett Cole was healthy, This team is just too much for New York. And it is still possible that New York comes back and wins this game, but we'll find out. Obviously, you don't really expect too much out of the Dodger pitcher today, even though pitching and defense has been incredible for LA. But you know who else has been fucking incredible? Freddie Freeman. This is one of the best World Series performances I've ever seen, and we've ever seen ever. Wow. Nice. The Oscar. Throw to first. Off the bag. Safe. Unbelievable. Freddie Freeman. Crazy good. Oh, very cool. Next up is Max Muncy. Top of the first, 2-0 Dodgers. And if you're just tuning in, you just missed another Freddie Freeman home run. He's homered in every game in the World Series so far. And this might be the most dominant performance I've ever seen, or we've ever seen in World Series history. I don't think that there's ever been a player that has homered in every game that they've played. And if this series ends tonight, add another, accomplishment to Freddie Freeman's resume. Unbelievable. He was already a first ballot Hall of Famer in Atlanta, and now he's just adding to the resume. Unbelievable. I couldn't think of a guy more deserving than Freddie as well, especially with all the talk about Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. And if we're being honest, both of those players have kind of underwhelmed, specifically Aaron Judge. Shohei has still been able to do a little, but Aaron Judge hasn't really done anything. And, for the Yankees to have a shot, they're going to need their best player on the team to play well. And unfortunately, in this World Series, he hasn't. And hopefully Soto and Giancarlo and a few of the others, Jazz Chisholm, can step up. But too much LA, too much Dodgers here in this particular World Series in 2024. That one fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Pitch is inside. Did he go? No, he did not. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full. Oh, those are cool. Three-two pitch. Got him. Heel with the punch out. I see you. Nice job. First punch out by Heel. Next up for the Dodgers, Kike Hernandez. Once we end up getting into a commercial break and we go into the batting order, I'll try to squeeze those in here. Big swing and a miss behind in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike for Kike Hernandez. But regardless on, if you got Kike Hernandez and, you got Ohtani and you got Mookie and you got Teoscar and you got Soto, you got plenty of guys that you can move around, and again, if they're going to be able to afford a guy like Soto and pay $500 million, even if that means that one of the normal guys in the outfield has to kind of move over, or they have to kind of figure out what they're going to be doing with Shohei, when he's pitching and when he's not pitching and whatnot. So, it's not going to be a problem, for them to find a spot for Soto if he actually jumps ship and joins the Dodgers next year, which is a high probability. Popped up, Rizzo is there, but the damage is done. Freddie Freeman, 2-run blast, 2-0 Dodgers. See some of your collectibles that you got here. Let's see what we got. All right, you got a little Geno Pop. Okay, I see you. And then you got a couple. You got a little Gambit action here. Take a quick look. What do we got here? Oh, okay. 553. And we got the one with the comic book there in the back. It's always cool when you can get something new collectible wise. Comes with a comic with the pop. Very cool. Our dudes up here for the Yankees in the bottom of the first. They've already dug themselves a hole. Leading off, second baseman, Gleyber Torres. Batting second, right fielder, Juan Soto. And batting third, center fielder, Aaron Judge. And on the mound for the Dodgers, they've been very, very dominant in the first 3 games. And this is probably their worst pitcher that they may have available start the rest of the way than Casparius. So we'll see what Ben does. If Ben plays well, or even above average, the Dodgers are going to win this World Series tonight. Now, if he ends up playing terrible, they can pull him, and they might end up doing one of those situations where they end up pulling the pitcher and they end up going through quite a few instead of having one pitcher pitch 6 innings and then, going from that point, or if they get blown up, you take them out in the 4th or the 5th. This might be a game where the Dodgers, go through many, many pitchers and just try to eliminate the Yankees as soon as possible and try to win it tonight. But we'll see what they do for a strategy, and it really just depends on how Ben looks in these first couple innings. If he gives up a couple runs, obviously like Luis Angel Gil did, or if he ends up being a little bit more consistent for LA. Yeah, very cool. I'm always down with the sports collectibles or with the, Marvel or action hero collectibles as well, whether it's Marvel or DC. First pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes from Casparius to Gleyber Torres. Torres pops up. Mookie is there, foul territory. And the fan tries to take the ball from him. Fan interference. Look at these drunk Yankee fans right here. So Mookie has the ball, and then the fan is trying to grab his mitt and open his mitt and take the ball out. And then Mookie is trying to get the ball, and the other guy grabs Mookie's hand. Those guys should be fucking thrown out. You can't be grabbing someone's mitt, and you can't be grabbing Mookie's hand as a fan right there. Both of those guys need to be ejected immediately. That's a disgrace for New York fans right there. Again, they think that they can get away with anything just because they're rich and they're in the front row, regardless if they're behind the dugout or if they're on the first base or third base line. A, you don't touch their glove and try to open it up. And B, you don't touch the fucking player. Classless. Come on, New York. Be better. Christ. Both of those guys are trash fans. You don't grab his mitt to open up to try to get the souvenir, and then the other guy trying to hold Mookie's right hand back to try to get his mitt. Those guys deserve to be thrown out, and hopefully they will be. I don't give a shit if they spent $1,500 each or $2,000 each on the tickets. People like that don't deserve to be at sporting events. Period. Terrible. I mean, it's one thing to interfere when it's going to be like a foul ball or home run where you try to catch it, but that's one thing. I've never seen that before, where he has the out and they're trying to literally pry the mitt open, and then the other guy is preventing Mookie's right hand to try to get his mitt and, just to try to get away. Boot those guys out of here. My God. Judge is in session. Let's see if Judge can make something happen here. He's been ice cold in the World Series. Next up, center fielder Aaron Judge. With one swing, we can have a tie game. That's going to be something that's going to be discussed not only tonight, but also tomorrow. And I'm very curious if they're going to throw those guys out or not. They probably won't because it is the World Series. And they, regardless on the money it costs for the game, but I mean, if we're having like a rule book of illegal shit that you're not supposed to do, it's definitely that. Can't give anyone special treatment just because they're rich. But I guess that's how our universe works. If you're rich, you can do whatever the fuck you want, huh? Bottom of the first, 2-0 Dodgers. Runner at first. Pitch in the zone, low and outside. But for a strike from Kasperius to Judge. And I get it, a World Series souvenir is so coveted, but terrible. I'd be embarrassed. One ball and two strikes from Kasperius to Judge. Did security escort those guys out? I haven't seen anything here on screen. Or the announcers talking about it. Pitch is low at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 likes, hopefully within the first hour and a half. 30 to 50 overall and 100 in the donos on every single stream. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Almost hit Judge, but bounced off the bat. Count remains 2-2. Pitch is inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Judge. That one crushed, but fading foul. Judge. And that is a walk to Aaron Judge. Next up for the Yankees, third baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Someone's got to step up for this team. We're at 5 more to go to get to 10, and hopefully we'll get a few more people coming through. Bottom of the first, runners at first and second, 2-0 Dodgers. Big swing and a miss for Jazz, behind in the count 0-1. Yeah, Jazz is definitely, feeling the pressure and kind of overcompensating and not just letting the game come to him. Chopper towards first, foul. Behind in the count 0-2. And the faster that we can get to 20, then we can get a little push in the algorithm, and then we might be able to get a little bit of a boost, or like obviously being one or more of the recommended streams, and we can get a nice little lift in the stream. 0-2 count, pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. From Kasperius to Jazz Chisholm Jr. And if you're just tuning in, Freddie Freeman did it again, homered in the 4th straight game in the World Series. Never been done, in my eyes. 343 feet, bet scored. He was on 2-0 Dodgers, but we'll see what Kasperius does. If he equally pitches and struggles like he'll, then Yankees have definitely got a good chance in this game. But again, just getting guys on is one thing, but knocking guys in is a whole nother. We're at 5, 95 to go. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it feels like Kasperius, he is their worst pitcher, obviously up to this World Series. He's nowhere near any of the, Walker Buehler, or Yoshinobu type of, player, right? We obviously know this. This is a guy that's kind of just a fill-in pitcher, while they get the other guys rest. But I don't know if this guy's going to make it more than a couple innings. He's not looking very good. And, maybe LA just wants to win the championship in front of their own fans, and they don't really care if they win it here or, in New York, but would prefer to win it, in LA. I mean, they're giving New York, the worst pitcher that they got at this point, so now you got to make him pay. Throw to first. 2 away. Runner advances to third, Juan Soto. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Next up is Giancarlo Stanton, as Mark Pryor, the former Cub. You remember him with Kerry Wood with the 20 Ks a few years back. Seems like it was yesterday to me. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels that I think that they would rather win in front of their fans. Now, obviously, if you sweep, right, it's so dominant. And even if the Dodgers win in 5, that's embarrassing for New York based on how good they've been, right? But we've said this at the very beginning of the World Series. Whoever's pitching and defense was going to be best was going to win. And obviously most people thought that pitching and defense is an advantage for New York going into the World Series and the Dodgers maybe hitting. But, if you actually and watched each game and gone through it, hitting has been Dodgers. Pitching has been Dodgers. Defense has been Dodgers. So I do think we're going to have a collective unit of pitchers that they're going to try to cycle through and not just see if he can last, 4, 5, 6 innings. They might end up pulling him here, in the second or third, and we might end up seeing a few more extra pitchers and then giving New York every chance that they need to be able to win. I mean, hell, if you can't win with Kasperius on the mound, I mean, you deserve to get swept. So. Little dribbler, and there we go. Defense and pitching have been phenomenal for the Dodgers, and they've been giving. I mean, they're pretty much giving you, a 3-course platter right here. Our worst option at pitcher. All you got to do is hit home runs, RBIs, and beat us, and then do it again tomorrow. We'll go back to LA and we'll win in 6, so that way Yankee fans aren't depressed. Dodger fans get to celebrate in front of their players and families. But again, I mean, if you can't end up, doing anything against Kasperius, you might as well go get the brooms pretty quick, because we might end up having a sweep or, a Dodger championship tomorrow with Dodgers in 5. So we'll wait and see. But obviously, they're giving them the ultimate chance tonight to try to win, and we'll see if they do it or not. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of fans get really, greedy, on wanting foul balls, home runs. It gets kind of wild out there. There'll be like a dog pile, right? And when you have someone like Mookie to go up into the crowd, get the foul ball, and then they show the replay where one fan is trying to open up his mitt to take the ball and keep it. And then when Mookie tries to grab, the mitt away from that initial fan, the friend grabs Mookie's wrist. You can't grab a player by the body and let alone try to open up his mitt like that. I hope both those guys end up getting, obviously, not only removed from the stadium, no refunds on those World Series tickets, probably about $1,500 each or something of that nature, right? So you're out $2 or $3 grand, and hopefully they end up getting banned from the stadium for life. You cannot do that, and that was very shocking. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff at baseball games in person and on TV. I have never, and there's probably a lot of drinking that was going on with those guys, because I don't know if they're dumb enough sober there in New York to do something so crazy like that unless you're under the influence of something crazy. Dustin in the building. What's good? Oh, yeah. Freddie Freeman, definitely the MVP. No question. I mean, with 4 home runs in 4 games, didn't have any in the playoffs. We all thought it was going to be the Ohtani and Judge show. But you also have to remember, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez was a big part of them getting to this point. And obviously, Giancarlo Stanton and Juan Soto are just as capable. But Ohtani's number 1, Judge is number 2. As far as best players on planet Earth, we have high expectations. But sometimes, it takes time for those guys to be able to get into a rhythm. And sometimes the pitching ends up just being better. And you don't really get, the most out of Judge and Ohtani that you want, And I know some New York fans right now are in denial, that this is going so bad. But again, pitching and defense was going to be the ultimate winner, not just hitting. Because we both know that the Yankees and Dodgers on any given night can put up 10 runs. They're the only 2 teams in Major League Baseball that on any given night could put up 10. Not saying that they will, but could, based off their lineups, right? Star power, Hall of Famers on both sides. But sometimes it's going to be that one guy that's, a superstar Hall of Famer like a Mookie or Freddie that's just getting a little overlooked, or like maybe a guy that's up and coming like Teoscar that could have ended up being the hero, and it just so happens it was Freddie Freeman. So, we got Mr. October, Reggie Jackson with the Yankees. We got Mr. October, Corey Seager, right? And now we got Mr. October and Freddie Freeman. And anything that Seager did looks very minuscule and small compared to what Freddie's been able to do in these first 4 games in the World Series. Unbelievable. I just can't believe that I saw that, though. One guy trying to open up the mitt to get the ball, to keep it, and then the other guy grabbing the wrist of Mookie, to prevent him from, trying to get his friend to get the ball in time. Those guys need to be banned from every stadium, but specifically, obviously, this Yankees, stadium, and the no refunds. You never can come back, and maybe throw them in jail for the night. Again, I get it. If you're rich, you feel you can do anything. At some point, you got to be held responsible for your action. I mean, hell, if they're going to let those guys stay or not kick them out, what kind of message does that say? That you can pretty much do anything for a foul ball or a home run ball and get away with it? Golly. I love foul balls, and I love being able to get memorabilia. Going to AAA games when I was 7 to 10 years old for the Portland Beavers. I've gone to 9 Mariner games. I've gotten 3 baseballs, so I've got a good percentage. There we go, Gavin. But I never would do anything what those fans did. Sliding in a second. Let's go. Nice job, Gavin. I know my dad's happy. My dad's been a fan of the Dodgers since the 50s. So we're not bandwagon. There's definitely going to be a lot of bandwagon Yankees and bandwagon Dodgers, being, the cream of the crop on the East Coast and the West Coast. But there's also going to be a lot of loyal, fans that have been watching and rooting for years and years and years and years. I mean, especially my dad since the 50s. So we're big Koufax and Drysdale guys. And obviously you knew the Dodgers were going to win for one reason and one reason only. Fernando Mania. They're going to win it for Fernando Valenzuela. Period. Strike right down the middle to Will Smith. And this ain't no Wild Wild West, y'all. 146 average, 2 home runs, 7 ribbies. Oh, 1 pitch. It's kind of crazy because I remember back in the day when Waterworld came out with Kevin Costner and Wild Wild West with Will Smith. And I don't think I've seen so many people like walk out. I don't know if they understood the message on what the movie was going to be like when they went in, but I do remember as a kid, some people staying and some people going in those movies popped up. Some people like Wild Wild West. Some people think that might be Will's, one of his lower tier movies. I guess it just depends if you have an appreciation for that movie or not. I mean, it's not Men in Black or Independence Day or any of the other legendary movies Will's done. Even though, we know him obviously infamously now with the slap. Top of the second, 2-0 Dodgers, runner at second. Tommy Edman in the box. Tommy, line drive, double play. Wow. Good defense there by the Yankees. Leadoff double ends up transpiring into nothing. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Dodgers. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're at 5:95 to go. Let's get it, baby. Let's see who's up next for the Dodgers and the Yankees. Next up for the Yankees, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Batting 7th, shortstop Anthony Volpe. And batting 3rd in the 8-hole, catcher for New York, Austin Wells with the Mets stash. It's back, baby. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got a lot of Biggios and I got a lot of Randy Johnsons. Unfortunately, they're not really worth a whole lot. Depending on, if you, regardless of, you get the upper deck one when he's, in the Montreal Expos, or if you end up getting Don Russ or Topps or Fleer or Bowman. I literally have like every Ken Griffey Jr. card and every like Randy Johnson card. I got a lot of Biggios. Now, if you end up getting it graded, right, and you end up grading it like a 10, then you'll actually have some money there, where some of those cards will be worth over 100. If you end up getting a BGS 10, a Pristine, or a BGS 9.5, or an SGC or PSA 9. But if it ends up being like an 8, that's usually what the value is of a card when it's not graded. Most people have it as near mint. So if you get like an 8 or an 8.5, it's not really going to be worth grading, because nowadays to grade a card, sometimes it's going to be like $10, $20, $30. And if the card itself is only worth 10, and you don't get a 10 grade to make it worth over 100, you're like losing money by grading a Randy Johnson rookie card that might be like an 8. It's like you're negative 30 in the hole. Besides it having a cool case and it's not going to get damaged and it has that serial number and whatnot. But congratulations. Randy Johnsons are always dope to get. Biggios as well. But unfortunately, being in the junk wax era, and trust me, I've been collecting for over 40 years, I would know what's worth money and what's not. And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff isn't really worth a lot unless it ends up grading out. And obviously that costs money to do too now. And almost, I feel like STC, PSA, BGS, like you almost feel like they have so many people since the pandemic that are sending in cards that they're almost like ripping people off. Like they're charging more people, more funds to get their cards graded. It's not just like a flat fee. It depends on how old the card is, if it's autographed, serial numbered, and all that. And then it's almost like, are they actually being honest, with the cards that aren't serial numbered? When you actually get it back, is it your card, or did they end up keeping a 10 and giving you back an 8? Very hard to prove. even if you have pictures of your card and whatnot. But congratulations on that. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Dodgers. Next up is Anthony Rizzo. Chopper Town's first base, foul behind the count 0-2. But even to this day, growing in that junk wax era kind of period, I still have like David Robinson rookie card, Shaq rookie card from the Hoops. And both of those cards are only worth like $10 to $12, but they're still one of my favorites to this day, just because I pulled it from a pack as a kid. And sometimes it's more sentimental value with certain cards, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, or if you go above and beyond and do like Magic the Gathering or like Pokemon, there's a lot of money involved, but sometimes it's a little bit more sentimental. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Dodgers. 1-2 count from Kasperius, their worst pitcher to debut in the World Series here. It's almost like giving New York, all the keys. It's like, here it is. All you got to do is hit. We're giving you our worst pitcher. Just hit. Win the game. Do it again tomorrow. We'll go back to LA. We'll win in 6. Then everyone's happy. But if they can't even get it done against Kasperius, then I don't know what to say. Next up is Anthony Volpe. Punch out by Kasperius there. .244 average. Shortstop Anthony Volpe. Popped up. And that one is fading foul. 15 rows back. Pitches inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But I think one thing that is a little overlooked in the junk wax era, or even stuff that's in the early 80s, 1980 to 89, some of the earlier stuff will have like the Cal Ripken rookies and some stuff that'll be worth a little bit more, than maybe the junk wax. But 89 Upper Deck, King Griffey Jr., obviously that's still going to be a coveted, iconic card. And even, just raw out of the pack, still worth about $40-$50. So 2-2 pitch. But unfortunately, with like Randy Johnson in his rookie year stuff with the Expos, usually about $10-$15 is usually what you're going to be looking at, unless you get it graded and it grades out at 10. But still a cool grab. Anytime you can grab a Hall of Famer. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Dodgers. Full count, 3-2 pitch to Volpe from Kasperius, pitches outside, and it's a fucking walk party. Next up, catcher Austin Wells. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We just broke 4.2 million views on the channel, and we've been gaining some good subs as of late. Looks like we got another 2, 3, 4 subs here tonight. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Now we only need 76 more to be able to get to 20,700. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Dizzy B in the building. What's good? I mean, the Yankees fucking lost yesterday just with Fat Joe. I mean, hell, even Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, they performed years ago, and that would have been better than Fat Joe, but that wouldn't have been enough. 50 Cent would have been not enough for them either. I mean, there's only really one choice, and he's in heaven. Fucking rap heaven. Hip-hop heaven. Fucking DMX. We got DMX out there to get that fucking energy and that crowd going. Then that would have been equal to what we saw with Ice Cube, maybe. That pregame performance by Cube was probably the best I've ever seen out of any sporting event in my life. And I'm 42. So I've seen quite a bit. Started watching sports around 3 or 4, around 85, 86. And I don't think I've seen anything that got me hyped up like that. And hell, even the Yankee fans and even the Yankee players like Verdugo were bobbing their head. You already knew that it was over for them. After that Ice Cube performance, and then you already knew it was kind of a flat vibe with Fat Joe. I mean, I don't know how many big time rappers that you can actually come have an opportunity in New York. Obviously, some are looking at jail time, so you're not going to be able to get some of those guys that rep New York out there. Popped up by Wells. Will Smith takes off the mask as it fades foul. Yes, sir. my dad's been rooting for the Dodgers since the 50s, so obviously this will always be kind of like not my team, because obviously I'm Mariners through and through, but, anytime you end up having a family member that has been a fan of something for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, of course, that's going to have a little attachment to yourself. And, we're big Koufax and Drysdale guys. Go to second, safe. Nice stolen bag there by Anthony Volpe. But this would definitely be a special World Series, and this is not going to be the last one with Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, and Teoscar, and hopefully Teoscar comes back. And if not, they obviously can bring in Juan Soto. Be a very good possibility, and they're one of the only teams besides New York that can actually afford $400 or $500 million. Hagen with the tour, Kraken 6-1, Montour with 2 goals. Hell yeah, we've been like 500 up to this point. Here we go. Center field, back, all the way to the wall. Go, 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 go. Go, baby, run. Oh, my. Wow. How do you not score there? Unbelievable. The score should be 2-1. How do you have a guy at second and third? Terrible base running by the Yankees. Unbelievable. Read the play, my guy. Jeez. And if they end up losing, by a run, you're going to go back to that particular play and think, well, how the hell do you not fucking score there? Unbelievable. We're at 7. Appreciate you. Let's go Kraken. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. And again, offense, defense, pitching, base running. And everything is favoring the Dodgers up to this point. And I feel bad for the Yankees. I want them to win 2 games. I want the Dodgers to win it all for my dad and for obviously the Dodger faithful. And obviously the linkage with Shohei and Teoscar and all that. But no one wants to see the arguably the second best player in the world, Aaron Judge, struggle like this. Let alone the Yankees to get swept. We want them to win at least 1 or 2 if it's possible. But you're going to have to play better. This is the World Series, not spring training. Come on now. But obviously, if the Dodgers sweep, that would be great. Dodgers in 5 would be great. I mean, Dodgers winning in any scenario would be great, unless you're a Yankee fan. But it just kind of shows you, you might be really good in one side, American League or National League, but that doesn't mean you're going to go all the way. Wow, missed that home run by a foot. And again, role players stepping up, and not a lot of people would expect anything from Wells. So if Wells can be a factor, it could be something. Grounds at the first. Freddie's there with that defense. But that finally brings in the run that should have come in already. 2-1 Dodgers. There we go. And I just want it to be competitive. The first 3 games, obviously besides game 1, that one was one for the ages, right? And ended up going into extras and Freddie hitting the grand salami. But obviously games 2 and 3, not so much, and we want to be able to see hopefully games that could be somewhat close. And, getting a 6-3 win in 10 and then a 4-2, 4-2 win by the Dodgers. And this is kind of pacing like another 4-2 game. Popped up. And Mookie is there. So they get 1. The damage is done, but maybe they could have tied the game up and had it 2-2. Nice job. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. End of the second inning, 2-1 Dodgers. Good first 2 innings. Go to the top of the third and see who's up next for LA. Next up for the Dodgers, 0-for-1, DH, Shohei Ohtani. Batting second, 1-for-1 with a run, right fielder, Mookie Betts. And batting third, 1-for-1 with a run, 2 RBIs, a home run, 2-run blast, who's hit a home run in every game in the World Series, 4 games in a row. Mr. Electricity, Mr. October, Freddie Freeman. Go, baby. crazy to think that Freddie Freeman home run will be more iconic, down the road than maybe even that Kirk Gibson. They're always going to be linked now, and they both happened in game one, but one was a grand salami and one was not. And that Kirk Gibson image has been so famous to us, but you're going to win it for Fernando and win it for Fernando Mania, Fernando Valenzuela, rest in peace in baseball heaven. And again, when you can get big-time players to make big-time plays, I mean, we've been able to see some amazing things here in 2024. And it's almost a given that you're going to get to 4 or 5 runs today for the Dodgers. I'm not sure about the Yankees. We'll see how many they can get. But again, if the Yankees are going to win this, and they might have to win 5-4 or 6-5, it might have to be that type of game. Awesome. I mean, we've already had a lot of moves, and again, lots of injuries, and a lot of teams, having their hearts ripped out a little bit. Like, I think with like the Buccaneers and the Texans, those were two teams that if they stayed healthy throughout the whole year, that they might be able to overachieve, especially the Texans. That was a team that we thought, man, if they could stay healthy, with the addition of Diggs, maybe they make it to an AFC championship game. Maybe not a Super Bowl yet, but maybe they have a great year, win 11, 12, 13, 14 games and make it to the AFC championship game. But now with injuries to Nico and now Diggs out for the year, that dream is gone. Baker doesn't have Evans and Godwin. We're done. So, sometimes you can start strong, but that doesn't mean you're going to finish strong. Ohtani, high fly ball to center field. Judge is there, one away. Next up, right fielder Mookie Betts. Go, baby. Mookie, throw to first, 2 away. And you got to understand like how great Mookie is and Freddie is. Like if you were the Red Sox and the Braves, like how do you let those guys go? And of course, if they leave and join a team like a Yankees or a Dodgers, they're going to end up winning a World Series. I mean, both guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. I know Red Sox fans and Braves fans still miss those guys. And again, you pair them up with Shohei, Teoscar, and then you bring in another Japanese pitcher with Yoshinobu. I mean, they had enough with what they had already. But then they added Teoscar, Shohei, and Yoshinobu. Game over. I mean, how do you compete with that? And the answer is you don't. The fans were ejected. Oh, good. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. No, I was waiting for you to... If you wanted to do Kraken photos of like Montour, I figured that's what you would want. And then we can squeeze those in whenever you like. This is high. Wow. Over the ump's head, all the way to the backstop. Past Capital One and Google Cloud. Whoa. Freddie. Routine play into left, and that is the end of the top of the 3rd inning. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 Dodgers. Next up for the Yankees, right fielder Juan Soto. Batting second, center fielder 0-for-0 with a walk, base on ball, Aaron Judge. And batting third baseman in the 4-hole, Jazz Chisholm. And it's not like the Yankees have a bad team. I mean, hell, they got a fucking all-star team. Torres is good. Soto is one of the top 10 players that's playing right now. Judge is top 2. Chisholm has been a great player in him for a good chunk of his career. Same thing with Giancarlo. Rizzo might be a little bit older, but it's still a capable guy that you could have on the team. Volpe is up and coming. Wells, you don't expect anything from him. So if he gives you anything, that's a plus. And then Verdugo, the former Red Sox. So it's not like these guys don't have anybody. There's a reason why they got here and represented the American League over good teams like the Orioles and the Guardians that easily we thought, or maybe even the Astros that could have got here. So just sometimes you run into a machine, and when you run into a machine, it's tough. Go Kraken. Hopefully the next stream that we do for the Kraken, we actually win. That would be great. Unfortunately, they don't have too many yet, but I have a couple that are at least the better ones. Love the Kraken. They're so much fun to watch. I mean, they do get me frustrated sometimes with playing net, or we just don't have enough offense. The offense part probably is a little bit more frustrating because you already know that the goalies are going to be hot and sometimes not. But as far as like the, firepower that we have, we could use more, but we have more than last year. And even with that being said, with Stevenson and Montour, sometimes, these guys aren't, you're not going to have anybody in the NHL typically scoring every night unless you're like a superstar getting assists when you're not getting the goals. But we don't have a top 5 goalie or a top 5 player yet. But I do like some of the pieces that we do have. So. What a great addition. The best addition that the Kraken have added, maybe, in the team's history. If he stays with us for many, many years, this may come down to being like the best addition that we've had in our young and up-and-coming franchise in just a couple of years. Could be like the most significant. So we'll get some more photos for you once we end up going to another commercial break. Next up is Juan Soto. Could end up being a Dodger next year, unless he decides he wants to go back to the Yankees. We're at 10 more to go to 20. And if you go back and watch the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby, he was hanging out with all of the Dodger, individuals. So it's like he's already kind of friends with a few of them, and he's, gained a little bit stronger of a friendship during that potential All-Star weekend festivities. He could still, he might be just all about money. He already knows what it's like to be a champ, right, with the Nats. So that dream has already been accomplished. So now it's just pretty much, I can pretty much just take like a Michael Jordan type of, I can play for a year and get a shitload of money, play for a year. And then if someone wants to give me 10 years, 500, 600 million, then, so be it, right? That's crazy. But that's what the reality is for these top baseball guys. And you can't really go wrong. I mean, you couldn't really fault him either way. If he stays with the Yankees and helps Judge win a championship for the first time, he would be like the Bash Bros with like McGuire and obviously Jose Canseco, having the Bronx Bombers with him and Giancarlo. But, you need that third piece. Or he might just be like, fuck it, I want to play with Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Teoscar, and win a championship. Or maybe Teoscar leaves and they decide to give Soto the money that they were going to give to Teoscar. That might happen too. So probably would be better to keep Teoscar and get Soto. But, once Soto goes down, one away. Nice punch out there by Kasperius. Next up, court is in session. Aaron Judge. He's kind of good, but he hasn't had a very good postseason. Caught him in the elbow. Hopefully he's okay. Fans aren't liking that. Oh, right on the hand. Shit. Hope he's okay. Next up is Jazz Chisholm. And the whole reason that you ended up bringing him in, is to be able to get the results. But Jazz is kind of like Randy Arozarena for the Mariners. We thought that was like one of the biggest moves at the deadline, and we were expecting like great results like he had with his former team, the Tampa Bay Rays, and they probably thought, if we can get a little bit of that flash that he had in Miami for the Marlins, but we can take it to another level by joining greatness like the Yankees, maybe that could be the piece that gets us here and wins it all. And it was one of the pieces that got you here. But again, in the playoffs, he, is definitely pressing a little bit too much. The moment might be a little bit too big for him. I mean, he's always going to be all dripped up with Jordan gear, sponsored by Jordan. Got the Jordan cleats. He's got all the armbands and the foot protectors and the ankle protectors and all the padding that's all like Jordan and custom and drippy and it always looks fire with all the colors and whatnot. It's like he's got like Ninja Turtle colors on just a regular pinstripe uniform. It's sometimes it's kind of out of place, but you definitely notice. But let's see if Jazz can get something here off the wall. Here we go, Jazz. There we go. That's how you go from being immature to being a game fucking guy. Let's go. Nice job, Jazz. There you go. Sometimes you got to grow up and get a little bit more mature. And the Jordan Brand athlete finally makes an impact. Almost a homer there. Nice job, Jazz. Next up, DHing Giancarlo Stanton. But again, it's not like Yoshinobu is up there or Walker Buehler. I got fucking Ben Kasperius. I mean, this guy, is nothing special. This is the worst pitcher that you're probably going to see all World Series. And the only reason they're playing him is that they're just resting everybody else. Giving them actually a shot to win today and maybe even win tomorrow. So that way they can go back to LA. But I mean, now it's like, okay, you're getting guys on and you have scored. It's 2-1. But when are you going to take the lead where we can actually hear this New York crowd, right? We haven't really been able to feel the impact of the New York crowd at all. Big swing and a miss by Giancarlo. He was swinging for the fucking moon right there, maybe Mars. 1 ball and 1 strike. And this is a guy that can change the game. He might not be able to run anymore. He might be kind of slow, getting up there in age. But one thing is for sure, he can slam the shit out of a baseball, just like this guy as well as this guy. Giancarlo almost gets hit. Or did he? Wow, hit by pitch. And this Ben Kasperius guy is not a dirty pitcher. He just sucks. So, when you get a guy that's inexperienced. Yeah, let me look. That looked let's look at the replay. Is it a foul ball or does it hit him? Oh, it didn't hit him. I didn't see it hit him. Or does it hit him? Yeah, there's always going to be a reaction when you have a ball coming out your fucking face. Like, what are you supposed to do? Just drop the bat? And then obviously Will Smith doesn't even catch it. Oh, it looks like it does hit him. Okay, on that first replay, it didn't look like it hit him and it just hit the bat. But when they slowed it down right there, and it does look like it gets part of the finger and the top of like the little bit above the knuckle, but not all the way on the top, but maybe not. Maybe they're just saying it's foul. All right, so it looks like they're not giving him, and it didn't hit him. Looked like it was pretty close, though, from hitting him and the bat, but looks like he's still in the box. Bottom of the third, runners on the corners, and they need a Giancarlo free-run blast more than ever, or at least an RBI. Reflect in the building. How are you? 2-1 Dodgers. Freddie Freeman is Mr. October. It's no longer Corey Seager or Reggie Jackson. Guys with the stolen base. Nice job. Freddie Freeman hitting home runs in 4 consecutive games in the World Series. Unbelievable. I mean, there is no Shohei Ohtani MVP or Yoshinobu or Walker Buehler. There's a lot of guys that have done some things, but not as impactful as Freddie Freeman. 2-2 pitch. As they got Hudson in the game now. They said, we're not going to stick with the same guy. They're going, like that one strategy that we saw earlier in the playoffs by the Padres and the Dodgers, where they kind of just switch out pitchers every couple innings and just see how it goes, based on, they're playing with house money. Fuck, they're up 3-0. I actually think that they don't really want to win this game or tomorrow. They would rather win in LA in Game 6. So that way Yankee fans aren't depressed that they actually came back and won 2 and feel like they did something special, But again, if you ended up having like a Yoshinobu pitching today, this one's probably fucking over, So, but again, giving the Yankees a chance to make it interesting. They have a 0% chance of winning the World Series, but they could push it a couple games and at least win a couple so that the Yankee fans have a little bit more positive memories from this. I mean, besides the 2 guys that tried to rip open Mookie's glove, steal the foul ball that he caught, and then grab his wrist. I don't know if you saw that reflect earlier, but those guys need to be banned and obviously tossed, not refunded, and maybe spend a night in jail. That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. Reflect with 13. Thank you so much. We're at 20 now, I believe. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little cactus jack, bang, bang. $13 holla. We're at 20. Wow, if you end up seeing the highlight of it, or if they show a replay of it, it's unbelievable. It's like going down first base into like right field. The guys are in the front row. Mookie jumps up, gets the foul ball, as it gets close into that front row. And as he's in the air coming down, one fan, this kind of burly Yankee guy, tries to pry open the mitt to take the ball, right? And then as Mookie goes up with his hand to get to get the mitt and get the guy's hand away, the friend comes in and grabs Mookie's wrist to prevent him from grabbing the glove and the ball. It was, and then after a little struggle, the ball ended up flying into play after, the guy tried ripping the ball out of the mitt, and Mookie with the, reaction, and then just crazy shit, man. Like, I never seen a fan grab a player, let alone a fan try to open up a mitt. But I guess if it's a World Series and you're drunk and you want a foul ball and you want, you're willing to do anything, including jail time or getting banned or having a viral moment. And he didn't even get the ball. Unbelievable, though. But those guys should be, banned from any ballpark, not just New York. Popped up. 2 away. Yeah, unbelievable. It's like I find it hard to believe those guys were sober and they would do that. But again, New Yorkers, sometimes they be a little extra, But you could say that for a lot of places too. Philadelphia, sometimes their fans are a little extra. Uh-oh, there it is. Back. See ya! Oh, baby. What did I tell you at the beginning of the series? I told you that there would be someone that would step up. And what was the guy that I told you out of the sleeper players? Not Verdugo, but Anthony Volpe. He is up and coming. He's been struggling. He's been kind of waiting for his moment. And a guy that normally doesn't hit home runs, let alone grand salamis. And that's the first Grand Slam in World Series since 1998. Game 1 for the Yanks. Anthony Volpe almost has a body frame of like a Derek Jeter. And like I said, he is my favorite non-big name Yankee. But after a play like that, it'll be a little bit more common known, not only just in New York, but as far as fans that are not familiar with his game. He's the best young and up-and-coming prospect for the Yankees, and he's had good moments, he's had some bad moments, and he's struggled, but I'm really happy for him to make a big play like that. Now it makes it a little bit more interesting. The Yankees, they gave you the keys. All you got to do is stick the keys in the ignition and drive off, and Volpe takes advantage against the pitching. Nice job. Grand salami, Anthony Volpe. Man, I'm happy for him. Nice. And now the Yankee fans can celebrate a little bit. And, we'll see if they end up winning this game and tomorrow. And, and then they win it back in LA, and LA wins in 6. Still, LA is good enough to come back and rip the hearts out of the Yankee fans and win tonight. We know that. It's not like they're just going to give up. But Anthony Volpe, nice job. I like it. I like it a lot. I like being able to see guys that I have belief in actually like live up to their name, instead of just being like, oh, Volpe, but what has he done? He's not that good. And then ended up making an amazing play. Very cool. And I know Volpe's memorabilia just went up a little bit. That memorabilia, that rookie card, Volpe, auto, PSA 9 or BGS 9.5, that went up a little bit right there. $10 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. $10 holla, appreciate you. And let me know what you guys want for photos between Reflect and Megan and I Gotcha. I mean, even if you weren't familiar with him, up to this point, and that's the first thing that you remember about him moving forward, it's a good memory, And again, he's not going to be the most, physique guy like a Giancarlo or like an Aaron Judge. He's a little guy. He's a little guy like a Derek Jeter, but sometimes those little guys have a lot of fucking heart and a lot of skill. And, he was always kind of my favorite, lower name Yankee, like up and coming prospect. It's not, I don't really have a connection with anybody else. It's like Judge. And, I appreciate, what Soto and Giancarlo are doing, but those aren't really my guys compared to some of y'all like Megan loves Giancarlo. I'm more of I appreciate what Judge has done for the game, and getting memorabilia from him changes my view a little bit. But if I could choose anybody after Judge to be like my number 2 that I like on this team, even before that Grand Salami, has been Anthony Volpe. Just cool to see a little guy have his moment. Nice job. Way to be money, Volpe. Do a little variety package. Yeah, like this was the game that they were like pretty much saying, hey, we're giving you a shot. We're gonna put in our worst pitchers. And if you can't beat our worst pitchers, then of course you don't deserve to win at least a game in the World Series, which would be a damn shame considering how great New York has been for a majority of the year and in the playoffs. It wasn't like by luck that they got this far. I mean, but there were some tough opponents, that could have been here. The Houston Astros, the Cleveland Guardians, the Baltimore Orioles, a few of the other teams that were very coveted, the Royals. The Twins, we were hoping the Mariners would be joining that group, but just not good enough. But it shows you pitching and defense wins games and wins championships. Top of the fourth, 5-2 Yankees with the grand salami by Volpe, 2-run blast by Freddie Freeman. At least it's making it kind of exciting for us here, regardless if it's a Freddie hitting a home run or Anthony Volpe having his moment, and obviously in Yankee fandom. People will not forget that, I'll tell you now. Two balls and a strike on Mad Max Muncy. Hell yeah, we are. 95 to 100 wins. That's always going to be the goal. Of course, we could say 85 to 90, and that would probably be more realistic, or 80 to 90, but, sometimes we've got to shoot for a little bit higher, right? We normally hit 80 to 90. Fuck it. How about, 90 to 95? And then once we do that for maybe a year or two, then we can say 100 if we're at that point, if we make the right moves. But, now if you and me were running the Mariners, I think that we would be able to turn the team around a hell of a lot faster than DePoto and Stanton and everyone else that's up there. You get a little round table of people that are about stats and analytics and, know what a good fit would be. to be able to build a championship contender a hell of a lot faster than them, but they would have to spend more money. Instead of being, like 15th or 16th in payroll, we got to move it up, to at least top 10 and be at least 10th. But if you actually notice, most of the time, the top 6 in payroll usually are the teams that are at the end, and every once in a while you'll get one team that's maybe bottom 10 in payroll that overachieves, like the Orioles, but they still haven't been able to make it to the World Series yet. But, they're trying to show that they can do it that way as well. Next up is Kike Hernandez. Kike. Volpe's right there. Bang. Double play. Amazing. Wow. Kike getting robbed there. But again, Volpe, again, when you end up hitting a grand salami and doing something crazy like that, then you're on this like emotional high. And now the defense of Volpe, and that's the reason why I like him, is because of the defense, bringing you that Jeter. And then it just so happens you get a little guy that can hit a home run or a grand salami, and it makes you even like the player even a little bit more, Yeah, I got you. I'm doing a review right now, so I'll get a couple photos up here. Looks like he's safe. It's close though, like by a millisecond. Runner safe. Inning continues. Next up is Gavin Lux. Squeeze a few in here real quick. Top of the fourth, 5-2 Yankees. Little dribbler, throw to first, and that is the end of the top of the fourth. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. 5-2, Yankees up 3. Squeezing a photo for Reflect while we're in a commercial break. A little Husky representation on the channel. Let's go. That's a good running back right there, baby. Oh, USC and the Huskies. You guys go toe to toe. Five to New York in the bottom of the fourth. Landon Knack coming in. I mean, they're just going pitcher after pitcher. Like they're giving the Yankees like so many chances here. They did take advantage finally. But again, if you ended up actually having one of their aces out there, you know, chances are maybe this one is over. But every game that he can go past 4, obviously more money, more viewership, you know, and then you get to stretch baseball out just a little bit longer. Verdugo. There you go, Alex. Okay, Verdugo. Okay, Alex. It's for 100, Alex. Okay. The former Red Sox, Verdugo. Next up, second baseman Gleyber Torres, 0 for 2. I mean, the Dodgers are ultimately saying, here, we're giving you the game. All you got to do is just capitalize. You know, and, I mean, it's pretty clear. They're saying it without words. Like, here, we're giving you all our worst guys. Try to beat us. You know, so that way you guys can, you know, at least extend the series and whatnot. But we'll see who's on the mound tomorrow. But I'm happy that the Yankees took advantage, regardless if it's against good pitchers, you know, so-so pitchers, great pitchers, bad pitchers. I mean, at this point, when you're down 3-0, you know, you just want them to at least get a win, you know, so that way they don't get embarrassed and get swept. I mean, unless you're a Dodger fan, then you don't give a shit. You know, you just want to win in any case possible. You know, win in 4 with a sweep, get the brooms, dance around, win in 5, win in 6, or win in 7, and have it be dramatic. But 2-1, pitch is outside, but all these pitchers so far for the Dodgers today are nothing like we saw in Game 3, or Game 2, or Game 1, even though it was a little bit more competitive in Game 1 on both sides. The Yankees would have won Game 1 and Freddie Freeman doesn't hit that grand salami, right? Maybe the Yankees are up in the series right now. Maybe it's like Yankees 2, Dodgers 1, and then they wouldn't be doing this strategy with the pitching for sure. They got 2 of them that they use. Captain Oreo and Reflect can give you all the info. We gained a couple more subs. That's good. We gained like 6 subs already today. That's good. Now we're at 20,626. 74 to get 20,700. Let's go. 3-2. Knack to Torres. Double play. Pitching and defense. Superb. I mean, I wish one day, you know, the pitching and defense for the Mariners could be like what we've been able to see on some of these plays with the Yankees and Dodgers. I mean, just the double play execution, you know, just the being prepared and being in the right spot at the right time, but also being athletic enough and also to communicate with each other to the best of your ability with something that's a bang, bang, bang play. Nice job. Next up, Juan Soto. Pitch in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, the difference between the Dodgers and Yankees is, the Dodgers can immediately get back next year and win it again. But with the Yankees and how competitive it is in the American League, if Soto leaves and they don't have a decent enough replacement of a player like him, the chances of the Yankees getting back to the World Series after getting there is pretty slim to none. That's how much of an impact he's had. Dribbles into first. End of the 4th inning, 5-2, New York. The Fat Joe curse is over. I mean, the Dodgers gave them the worst pitchers. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, if you can't hit or get home runs on their worst, then yeah, you deserve to get swept. So good for them, to be able to get hits finally off the worst pitching the Dodgers have to offer. But let's see them do it against good pitching. Get back into the series a little bit. But you got to take baby steps when you get fucking blasted 3-0. Like, you're already in a mental health hell at that point, because you already know it's just a matter of time that you lost. There's no scenario where you win, But if you can win at least a couple games, then at least the fans will be feeling a little bit better, and then that'll extend the series a little bit longer. The Yankees are too good to get swept, regardless if you like them or don't like them, period. And they should win 2 games. They're good enough to win 2, maybe even 3, but just not this year. But it should be like a 4-2 Dodgers, win in LA, Yankees can win today and tomorrow, gain a little bit of excitement, and then go back to LA in front of the fans and family, and boom shakalaka, it's over. But the Dodgers are so good, like the Yankees, that they could come back tonight and end up winning 6-5, and it wouldn't even shock me either. Next up, 0-for-1 catcher Will Smith. No Wild Wild West. Men in Black, Independence Day. In the 9-hole, shortstop, former Cardinal Tommy Edman, who's been great for them. And batting third, 0-for-2 DH, some guy named Otani. It's kind of good. Might have heard of him. We're at 30, 70 to go. First time doing multiple players. They're on the thumb. Normally I just stick with one, and then the actual team logo, and then obviously the logo for the World Series and my little style, on what it looks like. But to be able to have Mookie in there and Giancarlo, yeah, okay. This might be not just a one-time experiment. This might be something that I do in the future. Not every thumbnail, but, for maybe some of the special ones. Or maybe they'll end up being a trifecta. If I could have had Juan Soto and Freddie Freeman, then I would have done 3 and 3. Something to see in the future. $7-1 Kraken, is that good? Hell yeah. Yeah, so if tomorrow would be game 5, right? And then game 6 in LA has to be like on Friday or Saturday, because you got to give them a couple days of rest, to get it going. So, and then we got a WWE pay-per-view this weekend at 10 a.m. On Saturday. I will be watching Penn State and Ohio State as well at 9 a.m. Gus and Joel. Oh, look at that. Bang, bang, bang. Back, gone. Will Smith, and it's the Wild Wild West, y'all. See ya. Way to bring that electricity, Mr. Men in Black, Will Smith. 5-3 Yankees. Just as we said, it wouldn't surprise me if they came back and won 6-5. 30 seconds later, they hit a home run. They said, let's do it tonight. O-Dog wants it tonight. I do want it tonight. Game 6 would be more special for the fans and the family, to be able to win it in front of Dodger fans at Game 6, that would be the ideal moment to win it. But if you can't win it then, winning it tonight would be second best, because then you get a sweep, and that's embarrassing if you're the Yankees. And then it shows how dominant and how electric that they've been, and not just this guy. He really hasn't. It's been this guy right here. Nice job, Will. Next up, Tommy Edman. Now, if Jazz Chisholm played like Tommy Edman, maybe the Yankees would be up in the series. Like I said, at any given moment, these teams can score 10 runs on any given day. And they're the only two teams I feel that can do that. Sometimes the Astros will get into a mode, or like the Phillies, where you feel like, oh, wow, these guys are scoring. But, you have to look at how many Hall of Famers each team has. And there's more Hall of Famers on the Yankees and Dodgers than most teams that are in the MLB. It's like Phillies, got some. Braves got some. But it's not like the same kind of impact. And speaking of Ohio State, Penn State, boom shakalaka, my ESP. And then look at that. You talk about it, and then it pops up 30 seconds later. They haven't brought it up all game until right there. It's going to be a good one, too. I'm going to be very tuned in. And Gus and Joel are my favorite. If I could listen to any duo do a game on any level of sports, regardless if it's basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, whatever. Even though I love me some Joey Styles from the ECW era. But I'm going Gus and Joel, man, at 9 a.m. at Fox. Yes, sir. Pitches outside, 3 balls, and 1 strike. Tommy Edman walked. Next up is Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, I think winning today would be better than winning tomorrow, because winning tomorrow is only making the Yankees fans happy that they didn't get embarrassed and get swept. But it doesn't do anything emotionally more for you. It's like if you're looking at emotional, rising to the moment, Game 6 would be number 1. This would be, number 2. And then if the worst case scenario happened, the Yankees ended up winning 3 in a row, and then you win Game 7 at home, then obviously that would be, the most dramatic out of them all. Then Game 6, and then this game. But I don't think anyone really believes the Yankees are going to win, 3 games in a row after being down 3 games, based on how their pitching and hitting and defense has been. But, we'll see. Eight-2. Wow, that's got to be the most goals that we've scored this year. That would have been a good game to stream. Kraken getting goal after goal after goal. Does anyone have a hat trick yet? Obviously, Montour's got 2, so I would assume that, it's a collection of 2 and then a bunch of 1s. Shohei, line drive right in front of Aaron Judge. Otani's like, I need some more fucking hits. Nice job, Shohei. Next up, right fielder, Mookie Betts. Ball on to Mookie. Like, how do you let a guy like that go? It's crazy, man. Like, you can't let Mookie or Freddie leave the building. You're Red Sox in Atlanta. Yeah, there's other players that can be all-stars, but, those type of players make everyone around them better. Mookie, slow dribbler, double play. Did he get him with the force out? Got him at 2. Right. Next up for the Dodgers, Mr. October, home run in every game in the World Series, game 1, 2, 3, 4. He's been electric. Freddie Freeman. Line drive, force out to second, double play, got him. Wow, that was close. I'm not sure if he got him, but they gave it to him. Dodgers are like, we need to see, because you guys called that prematurely, oh, he's out, and they started running off. Just like when you end up getting a quote unquote turnover, but that maybe the guy not maybe got it completely, and then they try to hike it and snap it real quick before anyone notices. Let's look here. Throw to first. Oh, he's safe. Freddie is safe. Freddie is fast. It's all about putting that foot down. You see a lot of the feet that are like this, right? And then the ball goes in the back of the mitt. But when the foot is down, he's got that momentum where it's in that downward position, actually on the bag, not lifted above it. And it's like, that's safe to me. Yeah, well, knowing Garver, if he ended up going to the Yankees or the Dodgers, he would be an all-star. That's what would be just our luck. Garver hits 35 home runs, batting 275. Not an all-star or anything, but that's what would happen to us. Some guy that just is played pretty good for Texas, came to our team, probably the worst player, and then ends up going to another superstar team. So he has no pressure whatsoever, and then he just ends up playing loose and free and safe, baby. That's a good call, baby. That's a good call, baby. Hard to play in Seattle, though. If you look at the metrics, it's very difficult for most players. It's like Seattle, I think, is at the top of the list. If you're on one team and then you go to another, for whatever reason, for T-Mobile, Safeco Field, I don't know, man. It's just hitting. I think in the dome, before was a different vibe, but ever since it became, Safeco and T-Mobile, something about the park and the way that it's designed, it's just not necessarily really hitter friendly compared to some of the others, and especially if you're from the opposite league, National League, it seems like those players have even a harder time of figuring it out and whatnot. But at some point we got to get lucky where someone comes from another team, like a Luis Ariz, and we don't have to hear any fucking bullshit excuses. They just come in and then they dominate like Ichiro, and then we're like, yeah, that's our guy. That's what I want. Give me something like that. Yankees 5, Dodgers 4. This guy's kind of good. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We need 10 more to get to 20. Hopefully we can get to 20 before the game ends. That's what I'm hoping for. Nice. Yes, that's awesome. Great news. I mean, I'm not going to be able to celebrate any like Blazers wins because they're just so bad. The Kraken are not the Blazers. You know, the Kraken are kind of like in the middle, you know, where we have room to get better, but we're doing a little bit worse than anticipated, at least starting off. But we're not like one of the worst teams in the NHL, thankfully, like the Blazers are. And that's awesome. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay. Yeah, he's the man. Like I said, you know, if you watched him play, I mean, he won the Stanley Cup with the Florida Panthers last year, so you know he's one of the kind of notable names. But again, you just don't really know how it's going to pan out. Is it going to be like a Randy Arozarena thing, like with us, or you know, someone like a Victor Robles? You know, but it feels like with him, he'll be more consistent than any player that we have on the roster now. Hopefully brings out the best in Matty, you know, and that should be the guy that more than likely will be our superstar or star, you know, but he's like, you know, it's going to take some time for him to get better and better. So that way that everyone is like, yeah, Matty's the best player on the Kraken, undoubtedly. But right now we have a bunch of guys that are like equally good, but not really that standout. You know, even though everyone's got their favorite Kraken player, you know, whether it be Matty or someone else. But Montour is, I'm thinking this is going to be the biggest impact player that we've had in the team history because he's already making his presence known, and you know, offensively, defensively, assisting, scoring goals, and giving them the belief that you can win. Since he won, you know, a Stanley Cup, he's bringing over that Stanley Cup championship mentality, and that's something that you can't teach, you know, unless you get a player that actually won, that was a pretty good player for the champions. So, you know, that's a huge thing for us. As well as Stevenson coming from the Vegas Golden Knights and that championship experience too. So big impact. Can't wait to see. I mean, hell, by the time the year is over, we might be saying he's our best player, you know? And if that ends up being the case and we make the playoffs, I'm here for it. I mean, just making everyone better. That's all I want. Oh, yeah. And if he keeps playing, you know, that type of way, he's going to be the #1 jersey seller sooner than later. But we'll have to see the consistency. But, I mean, early part of the season, making a huge difference. Kind of depends on what kind of fan you are. I mean, you know, are you a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end kind of guy? You know, are you a defensive jersey player, you know, like me, or like offensive line? Like, you know what? It all kind of depends on the type of fan you are. You know, do you like the underappreciated? You know, obviously, you know, you got Grew and you got Decord for the goalies. You know, and even though sometimes they do get love, obviously they get a lot of the grunt as well because they're giving up the goals if the offense isn't, you know, giving any in return. Aaron Judge, Chopper. Oh, and Tommy Edman fumbled the bag again. Edman is fumbling the bag with the defense in this World Series, but the Dodgers have been able to bail him out, and he's been able to bail himself out at the plate with an occasional home run and RBI. But Edman, my God, come on, bro. World Series, dude. Yeah. If you're offense, then, I would probably be like Matty Beniers from Michigan, high draft pick, has the potential to be our best player, but again, he needs to show consistency and growth, and then he will be. But if he doesn't, as fast as, he'll still be a part of the organization, but, he just might not be the best. He might be the second or third or fourth. I mean, it just depends on how good the rest of the other guys that we have on our team get. So, Cole in the building. What's good? I mean, I think you have to just look at each case as a little different. I mean, there's going to be like an average amount of years, like NFL, it's 4 years average. Hockey will have the average. And then obviously if you're an all-star player, then you're definitely playing more than 10 years. And some of these athletes, just like in the NBA and the MLB and the NFL, sometimes you'll get these legends and icons that might be pushing, playing 15, 20 years for one team. And 2-1. Yeah. Especially if you go to like Gordie Howe and like Bobby Orr, and you like go to the old school, like if you look up like hockey players from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like, before Gretzky, like there's been some that sometimes you look at the stat line and you're like, this can't be real. They didn't play this long, did they? But some of these guys are OGs, dude, that, like, fuck, they probably feel at like 40, 45, 50 years old, they can still do it, And Jazz is walked. Great win by the Kraken. Release the Kraken. Next up, Giancarlo Stanton. Crush that foul. Bottom of the fifth, 5-4 Yankees. Runners at first and second. Can they win a game? Can we get the series to be extended so that they can make more money? Play for some pride for New York. Recognize next time that this happens, you don't have Fat Joe go out there in game 3. Right? Not a good look. Considering Ice Cube might have been the best pregame performance of all time. And then you go from Ice Cube to Fat Joe? Not even 50 Cent? No Jay-Z? No Alicia Keys? I mean, the only one that could match is DMX, and he's in rap heaven. 1-1. In there for a strike. Knack on Giancarlo. One away. Oh, baby, big swing and a miss. One gone. Giancarlo. Next up, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. 0 for 2 with a K. I bet her, you definitely can tell the people that sound great live and they have that natural, born talent and whatnot. I can only imagine, what some of those artists sound like in person. Whitney in her prime, Mariah in her prime, even Alicia Keys, you know, and her voice. Different type of talent, you know. Every generation will have these different types, you know. Not like necessarily just a cash grab, where you see a lot of artists now, where that's what it kind of feels like. Like the lyrics aren't that good, beat might be good, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it seems like just a lot of people trying to be like someone else and just trying to get the cash grab as quick as they can, you know, for their 5 seconds of Haktua fame. Bottom of the fifth, 5-4 Yankees. Runners at first and second with one out. 1-1 pitch from Knack to Rizzo. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, Seattle Storm. Yeah, you probably, yeah. Those big bodies, they were boxing you out. Rizzo flies out to center, 2 away. Next up, the Derek Jeter of 2024, or at least Volpe is trying to be. Shortstop, Anthony Volpe. All right, Volpe. Yeah, exactly. It's like grand slams are just a rare thing, and then depending on when you hit them, then obviously that's significance. Yeah, but you can't ask too much out of a player after they've already hit a grand salami. It's not like you're going to be able to, you know, typically hit another like 3-run blast or a grand salami the next at bat. You have to kind of, you know, you got to be able to weather those little feelings and whatnot. Guys can get hot in baseball, just like, or in any sport, but you know, you can't get greedy by the sports gods. They're just not going to give you a grand salami and a grand salami, or a grand salami 3-run homer at the next at bat. Or if that does happen, that's like once in a lifetime. End of the fifth, 5-4 Yankees. Could go either way. Let's see who's up next for the Dodgers. Next up for the Dodgers, 0 for 1, base on ball in the K, third baseman Max Muncy. Mad Max. Batting second in the 6th hole, 0 for 2, center fielder Kike Hernandez. And batting third, second baseman, 1 for 2, Gavin Lux. Oh, Ryan Day hasn't beaten a top 5 opponent since September 3rd, 2022. Ohio State, 4 straight losses. Penn State, James Franklin. He hasn't beat a top 5 opponent since October 22nd, 2016. He's lost 10 straight. They face off this weekend. The person that's lost 4 or 10. Who's going to end their losing streak? Ohio State or Penn State? Penn State would be shocking. I assume Ohio State will win, and they might win pretty easily, but we'll find out. Next up in the top of the 6, 0 for 1, base on ball in the K, Max Muncy. Batting second, 0 for 2, Kike Hernandez. Batting third, 1 for 2, Gavin Lux. Gain another sub. We're gaining the subs today. Another one. That's good. There we go. 73 to get to 20,700 now. In like 6 or 7 just on this stream. That's good. We were at 20,620 and now we're at 20,627. Appreciate everyone that has liked, sub, donated, commented, or shared. I appreciate that. So we got this World Series game, and then if it goes, and the Yankees win, then I'll be doing the World Series in New York for Game 5 tomorrow. Then we got Thursday Night Football, Jets and Texans. No digs, though. That's very unfortunate. And then we got WWE pay-per-view on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. that I'll do. And then we'll see what we got going on possibly Friday. Maybe the Kraken play on Friday. See what's going on there. Big swing and a miss behind in the count 0-2. Muncy, see you later. Sit down. Goodbye. Next up, center fielder Kike Hernandez. Oh for 2 with a fall out and a fielder's choice. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kike Hernandez. It's in the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Holmes to Kike Hernandez. Yankees up 5-4, finally making it interesting in a game besides game 1 that came down to a Freddie Freeman grand salami with the rye bread and mustard. 1-2. Pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Okay, struck out swinging. 2 away. Next up, 1 for 2. Second baseman, Gavin Lux. Yeah, it hasn't been pretty in the Big Ten. You know, like I said, it's gonna take time for the initial 4 that have joined to all feel comfortable in their roles. But again, not everyone is on the same playing field. That's very clear. But I would like to see some of those teams, kind of towards the top 6 sooner than later. So that way we have 3 of us that can be, matching up with Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan or Wisconsin or Iowa or whoever they want to throw at us. Pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. AM, what's good? Top of the 6th, 5-4 Yankees. With 2 outs, nobody on. Holmes on the mound. Gavin Lux in the box. Chopper towards first. Head down, dejected. He knows he's out. Throw to first and got him. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-4 Yankees. Next up for the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th, 1 for 2, catcher Austin Wells. Look at that staff. You wish you had one like that. Batting second this inning in the 9-hole, 1 for 2 with an RBI, left fielder Alex Verdugo. And batting third, 0 for 3. Leadoff hitter, second baseman Gleyber Torres. He has to wake up. Yes, 100% the MVP. No one else is even considered. Yeah, well, I mean, they got to win a game first. They're down 3-0. So, but yeah, Volpe definitely made a name for himself tonight, which is good. Oh, we gained another sub. We're just gaining subs left and right. Like another sub and then another. We've gained 8. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. 20,628 came into today 2 hours and 9 minutes ago at 20,620. Now we're at 20,628. Appreciate you. And you. And you. Sub party. Speaking of subs, I have been craving, something a little bit above and beyond, like a Subway if possible, but. All right, baby. More than halfway through. Bottom of the 6th, 5-4 Yankees. Can the Yankees hang on to force a game 5? One ball, no strikes to Austin Wells. 1 for 2 with a double in the second. Postseason, only batting 111. 1 homer and 3 ribbies. But that's the type of guy that if you take for granted, he could hit a home run, or get a big RBI. It's like you got to be able to have some of your role players step up. You can't always be about the guys at the top of the order. It's got to be the guys 6 through 9. Rizzo, Volpe, Wells, Verdugo. If you get anything from those guys, you feel like you won. And the same thing goes for the Dodgers. If you look at the bottom end of their lineup, you get anything out of Kike, Gavin Lux, Will Smith, Tommy Edman, you probably won. And it's so true. You can't always rely on your guys at the top, in the first 5 spots. Sometimes it's going to have to be the bottom end that's going to be a hero. And just like I say, look at that. Austin Wells, home run. The sports gods are listening to this channel specifically, because what are the chances of a guy like that hitting a home run 30 seconds later? Sports gods are tapped in tonight. They're like, you want to be able to see what O-Dog's talking about? Okay, let me show you a home run by someone that is the least likely guy to hit a home run for the Yankees tonight. Oh, okay. He's got a mustache. O-Dog likes it. Boom chakalaka, 6'4". Next up, left fielder Alex Verdugo. I'm tapped in, baby. I'm tapped in. Talk about it, then it'll happen. You just gotta express it. Nice job. Giving them a little bit more insurance there. Verdugo flied out to left. One away. But that's kind of ironic, when you talk about how important those guys are on the bottom end, and then all of a sudden magically a home run. Thank you. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's why we're smart here. Next up is Gleyber Torres. What a big home run for the stash, And that's what you need if you're New York. You need to have like the guys that are so, like Austin Wells, least likely guy in the starting lineup to get a home run for them every time. And then Volpe, he's a little guy. He looks like Jeter. You don't expect him to hit a home run, let alone a grand salami, but you're getting that type of production here tonight. Sometimes you got to have someone other than Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, or Giancarlo Stanton be the hero. Stash, man. Torres flies out to center. 2 away. But I always like being able to, when we can talk about sports and we're like mentioning something and then literally something happens, 30 seconds later, 5 minutes later, whenever, later in the stream. It's like, if you understand how sports works, and then that the gods are listening, might as well talk about it. Nice job. Fucking Austin Wells hitting a World Series homer. Are you kidding? Even Volpe, Rizzo, and Verdugo have a higher probability, or Jazz, and Wells doing something big. And here we are. In your most desperate hour, in your desperate moment of not getting swept, and having the brooms come out for the Dodgers and their fan base, you have to win when they give you the worst pitching that they're going to give you all World Series. Win it for yourself, win it for your family, win it for the New York fans, except for the 2 guys that tried to injure Mookie. Put those guys in jail. I love baseball memorabilia. But what I witnessed tonight with those fans, that's going to be something that's talked about tonight, tomorrow. That'll be, it's like almost unbelievable, but lots of alcohol and other party accessories get consumed before going to a Yankee game, let alone a World Series game. Oh, Soto, see you later. End of the 6th inning, 6-4. Yankees. Next up, in the top of the 7th, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, catcher Will Smith. Leiter's coming in for Holmes. Batting second in the 9-hole, shortstop Tommy Edman. Defense hasn't been very good in the World Series, but his hitting has been phenomenal in the playoffs and has been a good addition. Just has to sometimes make up for his fuck-ups. Happens, especially if you're a 9-hole hitter. And then batting third at the top of the order, some guy named Shohei. Oh, Tani. Judah in the building. I agree with this. And yeah, and even if I don't care necessarily about him, just to be able to see greatness do something great, you know, I think we're all wanting to see that. I mean, if you're tuning in. Top of the 7th, 6-4 Yankees. How's it going, Judah? Seattle Kraken 8-2. I love that. I just saw the video of the 2 fans that got kicked out by security. Spending thousands of dollars for a ticket and getting kicked out in like 10 minutes. Shout out to all the new subs. Appreciate you. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20, and then maybe we can get to 25. Candace in the building. Judah in the building. Nice to see you, both of you. Smith takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike to Will Smith. One for 2 for Will. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Judah's had enough. He said, fire everybody. Everybody. Congrats on that. I'm looking in the, foreseeable future, just to get like a little small truck for me and Paisley to go adventure in. Nothing expensive, just a couple $1,000, used truck or something, but not in that position yet. But I'm definitely, hopefully, I'll be able to get that done sometime next year, I hope. Anytime you get a vehicle or a new vehicle, used vehicle, it's always nice. Especially if you haven't had one in a while. Big swing and a miss. 5 more likes to 20. Let's get there. Next up for the Dodgers, 0 for 1 with a run, a base on ball, and sometimes a typical error. Let's see if he can make up for it. Tommy Edman. He has been pretty damn good with the bat. So, I mean, for a guy that, if he has fuck-ups on defense, you best believe you better be hitting out of your mind to make up for it, and he has. So there hasn't really been a lot of pushback. It's like if you're going to be able to come up in a big, big moment, right? And if you look at his postseason average, it's ridiculous. He's almost batting .350. Yeah, hold on one sec. Top of the 7th, 6-4 Yankees. 3-1 Edmund Watt. All right, Tommy. We got a Gino Pop. Then we got a Gambit, 553. And then we got one with a comic book behind it. There we go. And obviously that's a smart thing to do, you know, and they definitely started to incorporate like things with, you know, the pop on certain selective ones, regardless if it's like basketball, baseball, football, hockey, or something that's like superhero. Someone in their marketing building was like, you know, this would be a cool thing that we should do. Give them another incentive to get it other than just the pop itself. Shohei, big swing. I need to count 0-2. Shohei Ohtani. I'm a Mitani, not a Ohtani. Close though. We're in the Tani family. (6-4) Yankees, top of the 7th with a runner at first with 1 out. We're going to find out if this is going to be a Yankees game 5 and 6, or if the Dodgers have a comeback in them and we're going to get a sweep in the Bruins. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch is outside. Safe. But I've never seen a fan, you know, try to open up a player's mitt to take the ball, the souvenir out, and then, you know, and like, you know, you're trying to, you know, because obviously you're not going to be able to get his mitt itself, you know, but so out of it, you know, that you're going to open up the mitt, and obviously Mookie's not opening it, you know, he's closing it and he's fighting it, right? And then, you know, the other friend grabs his wrist to prevent him from grabbing, you know, the other guy's hand away. I mean, how dumb do you have to be to do that, you know? Like, you got to be not only banned from Yankees stadium, but every MLB stadium. I mean, there's no coming back from that. Like, that's almost the worst thing that you could have done besides, like, you know, try to punch him, you know, or grab his mitt and, like, run off with it or something, you know, be a fool. It's like, you ain't getting away. Shohei fouls that one off. But I've never seen behavior like that at a baseball game. Must have been a lot of beers consumed or other things. I mean, front row seats down on that, you know, first base line, even towards the outfield. I mean, I imagine you're still, you know, you're probably paying over $1,000. Probably 2 to 3 for the pair for those two guys. It's gone in like 10 minutes. And on top of that, you didn't even get a ball. Like, you might be viral for a little bit for being the viral idiot, but I mean, it's like you're not going viral for the right reason. Like, oh, you're the scumbags that fucking got ejected. But I imagine there's probably some New York fans that love those guys. They'll be like, oh yeah, those are my boys. You know, they don't give a shit, right? You guys get free pizza. Pitching change. Next up is Mookie Betts. 1 for 3 with a run. Top of the 7th, 6-4 New York. We've hit over 1,000 in the stream, even at some moments, and we've been a little bit lower. But let's see where we're at. 1,038. Anytime you can hit 1,000 or more on any stream, then that's obviously a good thing, you know. All right, we need 5 more likes to get to the goal. And I'm liking the 2 players on each side with the thumb for the very first time. Now we need 4 more likes. But turned out good. For my first attempt at 2-2, then 3-3. Just need Juan Soto and Freddie on there. First things first. Nobody watches that. Nobody cares. Terrible, terrible time to waste your day. Like, and nothing is almost worth watching anymore. It's just really sad, man. I really love Good Morning Football. Used to love the Pat McAfee show. Those are really the only ones that I could do. I mean, unless Colleen Wolfe is talking anything football, then I'm tuning in. But, you know, it's just, it's tough to be able to, like, the debate stuff is like an old thing. Like, it's not as, you know, like the cool thing to listen to like it was back in the day. I feel like, you know, it's kind of like past its prime. And, you know, if you're going to waste hours on end listening to something like that, I mean, I almost feel like you're going to be dumber by the end of the show, because a lot of times the stuff that they talk about will, you know, make you dumb or make you like wrong because of their, you know, so quote unquote opinions on whatever they want to, you know, have their narrative, you know, whether it's producer on the show or them themselves, or them just getting paid to say something that they don't even believe in. Like the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win it every year. 1-0 count. Mookie from Weaver. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mookie Betts. Oh, yeah, I am. Love that shit. Hell yeah. I still, you know, that is exciting. You know, Penguin, I haven't watched any yet, but I'm super excited. That's my new thing. So once I decide to, I guess, pay $13 to get the Paramount Plus Showtime combo add-on on the Hulu, then there's 2 more weeks of Penguin, and then it ends, and then I'll order. And then I'll see if there's anything else that's on Showtime that's as good as Penguin that would be worth me watching, and probably keep it for a month, and then I'll let it go. So John Gruden, telling you, like, if you see his content, I don't watch TikTok, but a lot of his TikTok stuff and YouTube stuff comes up on Twitter/X and Instagram, and you can see, like, when he ends up having his little, like, you know, top guys of the you know, the particular week video, and then he does breakdowns of the games, of the players, the matchup, the records, in only John Gruden fashion. And the breakdowns are awesome because it's super informative, and he's got a heck of a personality. Got him! Nice strikeout by the Yankees. But then when you end up seeing John Gruden in the funny video where he's like, looks like he's drunk and he's just super intense, and it's like a very short 1 to 2 minute video, and it goes over like his guys, and he's got like his little catchphrases and Chucky faces. It is fucking hilarious and super entertaining because, like, the faces and his like mannerisms, and when he's doing the video, he's not like pretending. It's just like how psychotic he kind of is, you know, with football and just the way that he thinks, you know, about stuff. But his delivery on those little short videos that are normally on TikTok or like YouTube, primarily, hilarious. I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen any of them, you watch one, you're going to be hooked. And it's one of those videos when you watch it, right? When you watch it, and he's got like little music that kicks in, and then he ends up having his little, you know, catchphrase, and he'll end up doing his little thing. But they have it like queued up where it's like talking about the player, how, you know, what his stat line was, and then his little mannerisms and the way he wants to talk about that particular guy, and then boom, and then he has the music queued up and goes in. But it's like the only video that I've watched in the last 6 months as soon as I watched it the first time and laughed, I was like, I gotta watch this again, and just to break down like how he did the video. And I swear, if you want to be able to be entertained, we know John Gruden got in trouble with the email verbiage, and and obviously ended up getting let go. But I had him. Obviously, we already know he's been a longtime coach. You can't excuse negative behavior, or maybe being too comfortable with swear words and derogatory words, no matter if you're around white, black, Mexican, Asian people. Sometimes you got to keep things to yourself, and not in emails or verbally. But I think John Gruden has learned. But I'll tell you what, that fucking podcast that he does, with the YouTube channel stuff, with the breakdowns, but then specifically like the Players of the Week video where he does like the 1 minute, 2 minute. Oh, brilliant. He is fucking insane, and I love it. His faces are ridiculous. He's just so goddamn intense, but it's not like forced. It's like, it's real, but it's funny as shit too. That's not what he's doing full time. I mean, Gruden does so many things, helping out so many different, football, organizations, and, obviously doing camps. And Gruden's always busy, and at some point we might see him coaching at some point or another on some kind of level, at college or NFL or coordinator or something. But for the time being, putting out, some good informative stuff, and then also some hilarious stuff on top of that. So grabbing almost every audience. If you want to see intense, watch that John Gruden, and then come back to me and tell me that you've seen something more intense than John Gruden in that video or videos that he's done, the top players of the week. I have not seen anyone more crazy, funny, and intense in a video, maybe ever. And I used to listen to Gruden all the time and watch him, and I followed his whole career, and then obviously helped me get over the top. But also, Monty Kiffin is just as deserving. Rest in peace, Monty. Tampa 2 was because of him. And what were we good at? Defense more than offense. But Gruden was able to get the verbiage so crazy, 20, 30 words per one play, and the only goddamn person that was smart enough to handle it was Brad Johnson, and he made it work. So, but super intelligent, kind of like a Sean, like a Sean McVay, and when you're looking at certain type of characteristics of coach. I'm never going to recommend anything bad here, Like if you want to be like amazed, Shogun, the bear, if you want to actually have something that's worth your time, it can apply to anybody. 6-4 Yankees. No, he's been terrible. Like I said, we know how great he is as the number 2 player. But Shohei Ohtani hasn't really been good either. Like overall, like Ohtani and Judge have been. If we're being honest, we don't want to mince it. It's like we love these guys. These are the 2 best guys. But it's not like they've been like Freddie Freeman or some of these others that have actually made the plays. So look at the postseason. Judge is 136. Normally we're expecting him to be like 336 or 436. Like, he's like an icon, and he's like a legend among kids. He's an icon, and just you don't want to be able to see someone like a Judge or Ohtani struggle. But again, pitching and defense has been the difference in this particular World Series. But this is your best chance to be able to get one against a bad pitcher or a pitcher that's not as good as the others that started. 2-1 count from Nat to Judge. Takes a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Judge. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chevy Equinox. Judge doesn't get enough of it. Kike Hernandez is there, 1 away. Next up for the Yankees, third baseman Jazz Chisholm. 1 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. Missed a homer by about a foot. Chisholm flied out to left, 2 away. Next up, 0 for 2, Giancarlo Stanton. It's kind of sad right now because, baseball and NASCAR are just about to wrap up. But for the people that like the NBA and the college hoops game, you got that. And then obviously you got NHL, something to fall back on, or like wrestling. But baseball and NASCAR are just about to wrap up. We only have 2 races left in the NASCAR Cup Series. And then this could be one of the last games, if we get a rally by the Dodgers. But it kind of feels like the Yankees are going to win this. And, it wouldn't surprise me if they won tomorrow in New York. They would have to bring it, and it also would have to depend on who's pitching. Are they going to throw a bunch of shitty pitchers at the Yankees again, or are they going to put in an ace? And if they put in an ace, it's going to be a lot harder, but still possible. And then we go back to LA in Game 6, and the Dodgers win. Family, friends, everyone happy. Boom shakalaka. But the Dodgers are good enough to do it tonight, right? They can win here, sweep, get the broom, dance around, Harry Potter, or win it tomorrow in Game 5, where the Yankees get at least 1 win. Three-1 count from Knack to Giancarlo Stanton. Line drive. End of the 7th inning, 6-4 Yankees. Leading off in the 8th inning, 1 for 3 with a run, 3 RBIs, 2-run blast, Mr. October, Freddie Freeman. Batting second, the former Blue Jay and Mariner. Come back. Left fielder, 1 for 3, Teoscar Hernandez. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and 2 Ks, third baseman Max Muncy. Teoscar was interviewing with some guys and saying that when he was on the Mariners, that he felt it was too individual, right? And it wasn't actually like a team effort. And there was too much pressure for each individual to outdo the other individual. But again, easy to say when you're playing now with Mookie and Freddie and Shohei Ohtani and having these players. Obviously, we're not the same kind of organization as Los Angeles, but there's a little bit of truth to that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's for me, nothing is really out of my realm. It's I'm not going to be as hardcore into Harry Potter as others, but if I see the movie on, will I tune in and watch for a little bit? Probably. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. I feel it doesn't really have to fall into any kind of category. It's if Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or something like that, even if you might have seen all of them many, many times, it's just something about certain movies when you see them that it's hard to be well, I might not sit and watch the rest of this, or maybe it just started, but sometimes you've already seen it so many times, but you got other shit to do, errands and whatnot. But it's always kind of nice to be able to tap into one of your favorites. Top of the 8th, one of the Dodger favorites, Freddie Freeman. Yeah. Hopefully we can get the right people in the building to make better decisions in the future. Judah's busting out the trivia. And then half of the people in the room are like, Wookiee ball? They're like, I don't know. That's the only thing that I could think of. But we know that's not right. Top of the 8th, 6-4 Yankees. Freddie Freeman pitch inside for a strike. That's a good trivia question. Pitch is low at the knees and gets away from the catcher there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pod racing. Two one. Big swing and a miss for Freddie. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hover skiing. Captain Oreo, sword fight. Now you got to be correct. Lightsaber. Come on, my guy. Ready? Pops up. You can't do it. We're not talking about like some medieval thing. He said sword fight. Come on, my guy. Lightsaber. Especially if you ended up playing the video games like on the 64, like they had a couple Star Wars, like Rogue Squadron. I own like 1 or 2 of them. They're in one of my drawers here. So sometimes you'll be able to remember by the movies or the video games. Definitely can open up a memory too. One for 3 with a single in the first. Teoscar Hernandez. Oh, 1 to Teoscar. He swings for the moon and stars. A very off-balance swing. Almost reminded me of Julio Rodriguez. But he started to get better at it at the end of the year. Young Anakin. Yeah. The race, the pod race scene is pretty epic. Like, I feel that scene never gets old. Especially if you got good surround sound and a good size, TV with speakers. There's many iconic memories from all the movies and whatnot. But top of the 8th, 6-4 Yankees. 0-2 count to Teoscar Hernandez. It's like you're going to have like the 3 old school movies with Harrison Ford, and then you're going to have the ones, obviously, with the the younger generation with the Natalie Portman. So, the chariot race. Oh, yeah, Lucas, very interesting guy. I don't know everything about him, but from what I've read or seen. That one went and hit him in the twig and berries, it looked like. There you go. Lightsaber dueling. Big swing and a miss. Weaver gets him. Teoscar, bye-bye. Next up, Max Muncy. Yeah, keep it interesting, man. We can anytime you come in, you choose what we do for the day. You want to do basketball, NBA trivia from like the 80s and 90s. You want to do NFL or NHL or MLB or pop culture. I think we're all old enough to, not everyone's going to be in the same age bracket, obviously, since we go from like 10 years old to 90 years old on this channel. But for the most part, for like the regulars, we're in a roughly similar age. Pitch in the middle to Muncy for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Weaver to Muncy. That pitch was outside. Muncy had, let's take a look at out of the zone, man. 96. But obviously the momentum is in New York's favor. The MLB, and all the bettors want the series to continue. The fans that paid all the money don't want to be embarrassed. So they would rather, not get swept. That would be like the worst possible thing that you could have happen to you. Weaver, 2-2. Got him. Wow. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. 0 for 3 with a K. First baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Honeywell relieved Knack. Batting second, grand salami, Mr. Anthony Volpe. And batting third, catcher, with the stash from the past, Austin Wells. So I can hit a home run too. Home run, grand salami from your 7-hole. Another home run from your 8-hole. Okay. Bottom of the 8th, 6-4 Yankees. Let's go, baby. Rizzo grounded out to first, 1 away. Next up, Anthony Volpe. Jedi Training Academy? Sounds awesome. Volpe. Yeah, that's super cool. 1 for 2 with a walk and a grand salami. Anthony Volpe, making himself more of a household name now for not just New Yorkers. Pitches low and into the dirt at his knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. At the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike. Honeywell on the mound. Did he go around? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul into the glove. Oh, is he still alive? They're still giving him a chance there. All right, Volpe. Yeah, Star Wars memorabilia is always neat, especially if you end up getting something neat like that. That not very many people will have one of those. Two. Oh, nice. Volpe with a nice base knock into left field. Trying to go 2. Safe. Wow, I think he knocked the ball out with his head or his shoulder. Nice. Giving them a little bit of life, to add maybe on a little bit more insurance that they're still, not just trying to hang on, but they're trying to win. This is the Anthony Volpe game. Wow, I hit him in the head. Holy shit. Teoscar throws. He slides. Boink. And he just takes it right on the noggin. And he said, fuck it. If I'm going to go in for a double, I'm going to have to smash it out with my head. He fucking headbutted that shit. Volpe. Yeah, that's how you knock the ball out. There you go. Next up is Austin Wells. Look at that stash. You wish you had one. Well, at least for our male listeners. Paisley just came in the room. I love it when dogs and cats wear like blankets and it looks like almost like a Star Wars character, or like some member of the Sith, it's like I got a couple black blankets with just a little bit of white. She is hilarious. (3-1) right on the corner for Honeywell. Count is full to Wells. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bottom of the 8th, runner at second, 1 out. Yankees with a 2-run lead, 6-4. 3-2 pitch, popped up. Will Smith is there, and he missed it. Yeah, you got any NFL trivia or any old baseball trivia? World Series trivia? (3-2) from Honeywell. All 4. I don't know about a Honeywell, but I do know about a Honeycut. Back on the Athletics when I was a kid. Okay. Good old Rick. Next up, former Red Sox, Alex Verdugo. 1 for 3 with an RBI. Bottom of the 8th, 6-4 Yankees. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Takes the strike. High in the count, 0-1. 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th. By Verdugo. Wells stole second. Volpe stole third. Oh, they're making it. They're really. I mean, you're playing the Dodgers, so again, 2 runs for other teams might be like, oh, I'm good, right? But anytime you're playing either one of these 2 teams, it's never enough. Like, you know, even if you have 3 or 4, it's like you feel a hell of a lot better than a 1 or 2 run lead for sure. And if the game is tied, you're very nervous that you're going to lose. So even with a 2-run lead, I mean, if you can get this to like 8-4, then I think they'll feel a little bit better. I love the Paisley Pup. 0-2 pitch. That one is foul. Behind in the count, 0-2 for Alex Verdugo. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Honeywell to Verdugo. And I feel like if the Dodgers, you know, even if it ends up being 6-4, this just doesn't really feel like they're going to do it here today. They're going to let the Yankee fans have this one, and then we'll be back tomorrow. And if you're a Dodger fan, if you want to actually feel like you have a chance to tie it, you have to keep it to 6-4. If it goes to 7-4 or 8-4, it's over 100%. So it's like if you want to have it be at least like 50-50, give yourself like a shot, or maybe 25-75 chance to at least get a run or 2 and tie it up. And you got to make sure you shut this down. 1-2 pitch. Pitches inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, that's some good quality H2O. 2 pitch. Chopper towards first foul. Spike Lee there. Denzel. Or looks it looked like Denzel. Verdugo crushes that one. Good souvenir for a fan out there about 25 rows back. That one chopped foul. Bottom of the eighth, the 6-4 Yankees. Runners at second and third with one out. 2-2 pitch from Honeywell Jr. to Alex Verdugo. He's grinding out this at-bat. Honeywell, Verdugo, throw home, safe. Wow. We gained another sub. Gained 9 today. Let's go. Thank you to the 9 individuals that have subbed today within the last 3 hours. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Whether it's liking the reaction videos, the old school videos, the live streams, or a little bit of both. 7-4 Yankees. Next up is Gleyber Torres. That chop fouled, 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot harder to come back from 3 than 2, and they might not be done here. Uh-oh. Back. Come on, baby. And now it's over. 10-4 Yankees. And Gleyber, I believe, was 0 for 3 up to that point. And you get a 3-run blast by Gleyber Torres. We are going to be here tomorrow for game number 5. Good for them to not get swept. You know, that would be the worst feeling ever, to kick everyone's ass, you know, throughout the whole playoff, and then to get swept by the Dodgers, like when you feel like you're on their level. And at some things, you might feel like you're better than them at certain categories. But hasn't been a pretty series up to this point. But today, New York, against mediocre pitching, has done the deed, and they got it done. 10-4 Yankees. I mean, it's not over yet, but I mean, it's pretty much over. Nice job, New York. Make it a series. Joe Dirt approved. Life's a garden. Dig it. Big home run. Next up is Juan Soto. We would like to see a Juan Soto and Aaron Judge home run. I mean, they might as well just do it here. Let's go like 3 home runs back to back to back. You know, get the crowd going. Boom, home run. Boom, home run. You know, why not? Now the Yankee fans finally can like kind of cheer and like, take a breath. Postseason, Soto batting over 300 just hasn't been very good here in the World Series. Judge has been worse, but again, it's like you want your two best players to play like they did on how they got you here. You don't want to just disappear. And there's probably a very high probability that Soto and Judge homer tomorrow, or at least one of them does, if not both. Popped up. But like we also said, right, at any given moment, these two teams could score 10 on any given day. And, at the beginning and the middle of this game, there's like no way New York is going to get to fucking 10, let alone win. Especially with Freddie Freeman with that home run right out of the gates, make it 2-0. But lo and behold, you can get beat up over and over and over. But at some point, if you get to a pitcher that is average or below average or off or shitty, right, then a team that is struggling against the best pitchers in the world can get going and get into a rhythm. And that's what we've been able to see out of the Yankee hitters finally. Eddings getting that little ricochet off the mask. That probably did not feel good. Hopefully he's okay. Those umps are some tough son of a bitches when they get the deflections. Soto doubled to right. They're keeping the party going. They're feeding off the momentum. That Uncle Mo is real. There's Juan. He said, it might not be a home run, Yankee fans, but here I am. And just to make it fitting, let's get an Aaron Judge home run right here. Okay, he hasn't got a home run this whole World Series. We've been wanting him to get the home run. Let's get it right here. Why not? I mean, hell, he's got his own little logo in the corner. I mean, no other players got that. Why the hell not, huh? How about right now? Tomorrow would be more, influential. But maybe if he ends up hitting one today, then it bounces back. Just like the Freddie Freeman thing where he hits 4 in a row. And maybe you got to get like a cheap one here just to give him that big win. You get the rhythm going, and then he goes in tomorrow and hits one maybe at his first at-bat or something. And you got to set the tone early tomorrow. And again, if the Yankees win tomorrow, then the Dodgers can still win at home in Game 6. And I think that's what would be the best case scenario. But that would mean the Yankees have to win tonight and tomorrow. Check off tonight, off the list. Tomorrow, if you get Judge and Soto to homer, probably a pretty good chance to win tomorrow, too. Yeah, but also the Dodgers could end up winning it tomorrow, too. I mean, it really depends on the strategy with the pitching. If they do a similar strategy of pitching with these average, below average pitchers, definitely the Yankees can win tomorrow. But if it's an ace, like one of the normal, like a Walker Buehler, Yoshinobu, you probably won't win, unless you rough that player up, which is possible. Judge, and he gets one. There you go. Wasn't a home run, but he joins the party. Soto coming home, getting that rhythm. 11-4 Yankees. And you got to be able to get into the rhythm the game before to give you that confidence in that next game. There you go. Nice job, New York. Finally showed up after 4 games. Next up, Jazz Chisholm. Continue the party. Keep it going. 11-4 Yankees. Give the fans something to get excited about, besides those 2 fans that tried to take the ball out of Mookie's glove. Fuck those guys, but everyone else, I see you. Judge stealing second. Okay. Aaron's like, hey, I'm a big guy too. I'm not as good as Shohei Ohtani at stealing bags, but I'm a lot slower than him. But every once in a while, hey, I can do it too. Bottom of the 8th, 11-4 Yankees. Well, I mean, if we're talking about comebacks, regardless if it's like ALCS, NLCS, or World Series, we all know when New York was up 3-0 and David Ortiz decided to come to the party and win 4 straight and beat the Yankees, and then went on to win the World Series. That's probably the most famous one. I mean, excluding like necessary World Series, but if we're talking about big moments, Jazz Chisholm almost get hits in the chest by Honeywell. 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Soto, Judge, and Giancarlo all have a very unique stance and approach, and they're all fun to watch. It's even if you're not a fan of that team, or great players, are great players, regardless of the uniform that they wear. I love watching greatness wherever it's at. Said all that. Chisholm slide out to left. 2 away. Next up is Giancarlo Stanton. This would be a good time for a Stanton homer, too, just get practicing for tomorrow. He fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. We got Flaherty versus Garrett Cole tomorrow if Cole can go, if he's healthy enough, which they're going to try to get him to play. So definitely it plays into the Yankees' hands if Cole pitches like he normally does. Yeah, they definitely could beat Flaherty tomorrow. That's not Walker Buehler or Yoshinobu, but even Flaherty, if he can pitch a little bit better than he did in Game 1. End of the 8th, 11-4 Yankees. Next up for the Dodgers, center fielder Kike Hernandez. Batting second, 1 for 3. Second baseman Gavin Lux. Batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K, Will Smith. Kike Hernandez. Chopper towards first foul. Finding the count 0-2. O2 pitch. Chop towards first foul. Count remains 0-2. Low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yankees 11, Dodgers 4. And we'll do World Series game number 5 tomorrow. And then we'll do Texans and Jets. Actually looking forward to that matchup. Wanting to be able to see the Texans more in prime time. And then I don't really know Friday. I guess it just depends if the Yankees win tomorrow, right? And then we would have another game, but game 6 would be on Friday. And then we're doing a, if it gets to that point. And then Saturday morning, we're going to do a WWE pay-per-view. PLE, Premium Live Event. Kraken don't play on Friday, unfortunately. Thunder and Blazers would probably get beat by a Billy. No, the season's already over for them. Come on now, you know that. The Braves, yeah. Well, when you end up going to like 4 and you win 1, I mean, it's like the Buffalo Bills going to 4 and losing them. You know, all of them going 4 years straight. Losing to Phil Simms and the Giants and Hostetler, and then losing to Mark Rippon in 91, and then losing in 92 and 93 to Aikman, Emmett Smith, and Michael Irvin. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that for Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Cornelius Bennett, Dom Beebe, Marv Levy. Do I need to keep going? Bruce Smith. No, I don't. Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas. (11-4) Yankees. The Pellies. Yeah, we're not very good. I want Shaden Sharp to come back. Obviously, that's like my favorite player on the team, and obviously he's going to be out until like November. But I like Kling Kong though. You know, I like the big guy from UConn. You know, big guy, defensive guy. He can get you 20 boards in a game. He's not a starter yet, but. And they're doing new Blazer glasses that are cool, that are going to have 3 players. Scoot Henderson, and you have to go to a Blazer game to get it. Limited edition, like the Dairy Queen glasses, but they're only doing 3. And then they're doing Scoot Henderson, and then they're doing Shaden Sharp, and then they're doing Kling Kong, a rookie, which is very cool. So obviously I care more about the Shaden Sharp and the Kling Kong, but if I have to get the Scoot to complete the set, so that probably means I'm going to have to end up spending like $40-50 a piece for these glasses to get the set, unless I can get a deal from a Blazer fan that doesn't care about it. Maybe I can get it for like 20 or 30, but it's like the collectibles with the teams. Dairy Queen did it for a few years. They were very popular, and then they did a remake through the Blazers, and they had like Dame and LaMarcus, and I got those. Robin Lopez, they had quite a few players that they did, like 5 or 6. Scottie Pippen for Olden Polonese. Yeah. We're drafting Bowie over Michael Jordan. Drafting Greg Oden over Kevin Durant. Could have been much better for the Blazers. It wouldn't have been impossible to win with Drexler and Jordan together. And then imagine if Sabonis would have came over from Lithuania in his prime. Oh, we would have won a couple. Regardless if Sabonis came or not. But if Sabonis did, he would have been right there with all the big boys. Olajuwon, Ewing, Shaq. David Robinson. 1-2 pitch. Even like the jobber centers were actually pretty good from back in our day. Like the Mark Eatons, you know, no one talks about Mark Eaton, you know, or like a Rick Smiths, you know, but they were actually like pretty damn good for as big as they were, you know, in the center era when many guys were much better than them, but it's not like they were terrible. Like sometimes they played really fucking good. Aaron Judge has got it. And that is it. Final score, Yankees 11, Dodgers 4. And this is going to be known as the Anthony Volpe game. And good for him to be able to, you know, make himself a name. Yeah, he was the reason why we won a championship in 77. Right? Lionel Hollins, Johnny Davis, right? Maurice Lucas, Bill Walton. Awesome. Pretty cool. Well, at least they didn't get swept because that would have been pretty depressing, you know, for, you know, every fan except for Dodger fans, you know, but at least we get something more, you know, at least we'll see how it goes. One more game, maybe, and then that one more game will give you an opportunity to get the Aaron Judge home run that everyone has been wanting. Or maybe we'll end up getting something magical where we'll end up getting the Ohtani Judge home run in the same game. That, you know, I'm speaking it into the universe. Or you're going to get the Judge homer tomorrow, and then the Ohtani one is going to happen in Game 6 in LA, and then everyone loses their goddamn minds. They'll be like this, and then be like, oh my god, and then they'll be like this, right? And then Freddie Freeman, and we have an opportunity for him to hit a home run again tomorrow and in Game 6 maybe. Just hit home runs in 6 straight games. Fuck it. But congratulations today to the Yankees. Nice job, Volpe. Yeah. I met Maurice Lucas before he passed. Got his autograph on one of those Portland Beaver baseballs that I got. They did a Maurice Lucas celebrity softball you know, game after or before the Beaver game. I think it was before. And then in that particular event where you had like Ed Whalen, Channel 6, and, you know, you had some baseball players there like Walt Weiss and things like that. So there was like a few people that were there, like, you know, Rocco Rock from like Fox 49. You know, it's like they had like TV celebrities, like weather people, sport people, news people, and they had rappers and like singers, and it was like a whole thing. You know, sprained my ankle really fucking good at that event, and that was the first ball that I ended up getting on that particular event when I was 10. Good old Maurice Lucas. Rest in peace, big guy. And Bill Walton. I mean, both of them. Rest in peace. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Yankees 11, Dodgers 4. We'll be live for Game 5. Same time, same place at 5 o'clock Pacific. And then I guess we'll go from there. And then Thursday we'll do Thursday Night Football. And then Friday would be Game 6 if we get there in LA. Tomorrow's game still in New York. So I hope everyone ends up having a fantastic day. I got a long 45-minute walk to go do with Paisley Pup outside, and then maybe eat some fruit afterwards. And maybe we'll end up watching a show or whatnot. And we'll be back at it tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you to all the new subs. 9 subs in one stream is a good amount. Like sometimes you go streams and streams without a new subs, or, you know, video, and then it takes a while, you know, depending on where you're at in your career on YouTube, I guess. But 9 subs in a matter of 3 hours, I'll take that. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Well, you know, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Yankees 11, Dodgers 4. Congratulations. Dodgers with a 3-1 lead. Game 5 tomorrow. Same time, same place. 5 o'clock Pacific. And I'm out. Okay.